is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot on my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors, they won't let me in.
What up, what up, what up? Nick and Knight, rewind. What up, what up, what up, Nick Time family? It's been a long day, but I'm excited to be chilling with you guys all today. Just talking Knicks. It's been an interesting, few weeks. And this last week is no different. And so I'm excited to just chop it up with you guys about what we've seen, what concerns we might have getting ready to go into the playoffs with some of these scenes that we saw recently in this West Coast trip. I'm excited to be chilling with my guys, Apollo Reed and Al from Harlem, and diving in through 4 variations of Fiddler, ASW. So ASW is a brand from Atlanta, and when we get ready to have our first sip, I'll give a little breakdown for it with you guys. But my friend Whit is one of the master distillers out there. He's second in command when it comes to distilling and all that stuff. And so it was really cool to be able to go out there and enjoy it. We were supposed to have their guy Chad on the show today, but he texted me a little while ago and said, "Hey guys," or emailed me and said, "Hey bud, my team is playing tonight in the NCAA tournament. And this is the first round for them, so I don't think I'll be able to make the show. Can we reschedule?" And I said, well, we have no dates available to reschedule, but good luck in the game. We will still showcase you guys tonight. So shout out to Chad. Hope everything goes well for your team. But without further ado, I'm going to bring up my guy, Mr. Apollo freaking Reed.
Yo. Peace. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How was the week?
It was it's still going. It's still going. It's one of those weeks. But yeah, man, I can't complain, man. Everything's been pretty good.
That's good. All right. And now we got the other co-host chilling in Riverview, Florida in the 40-degree, 50-degree beautiful weather this week. So without further ado, what was it up there, Apollo? You just laughed. So what was it out there?
So it was like 43 degrees the other day, but it's going to be 60 something tomorrow and 70 this weekend. So we're good.
Okay. All right. We were in the 90s and now it's gone down to like the 40s to 60s throughout the week. Today was like 60, 65 at high. So it was beautiful. Without further ado, I'm going to bring up the new dad of the group, Mr. Al from Harlem.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
What's good, my guy?
Chilling. Yo. So everybody in the chat, everyone that's watching the show, we're going to need some opinions here. All right. So I was chopping it up with my guy right here, Mr. Al, and we were talking about how he's got to do something. All right. Because his Twitter tag and all that stuff is semi-auto 155 and no one knows what the heck that means. So, he's trying to build his New York Knicks name, his New York Knicks brand. So we're going to be chopping it up this week to figure out what that brand's going to look like and sound like and all that stuff. So if you have recommendations for Al, put them in the chat, put them in the comment section. Drop us a message on Twitter or Instagram and let us know this is what Al should be. If you got any like Al Pacino kind of like, but Al from Harlem kind of spins on it with New York Knicks, let us know. And we'll go from there. But how's your week been, bro?
It's been good. I was just watching actually the March Madness tournament, and there's a player on VCU, bro. I thought of all you guys. I was about to text you guys before the show, but I was like, I'm gonna bring it up on the show. His name, he has the best name on the planet. His name is Nick Lewis. I'll give each of you one guess on how he spelled his name, Nick.
K.
Go ahead. One of you guys go first.
K-N-I-C-K.
Yeah.
Wrong. Phil, what's your guess?
NYK.
NYK, so genius.
Oh, that's fire.
His dad has to be a
Oh
Knicks
yeah,
fan.
For sure.
1000%,
That's
bro.
fire.
either
But what's
that or he
crazy-
just doesn't understand the American language and thought that's how you spelled it.
What's crazy is like
Meek.
when before I
Neek,
knew the sex
how
of
you
my
doing, Nick?
Hey, Meek.
before I knew the sex of my baby, I swore I was having a boy, and so I was telling everyone that I was gonna name my son Nixon, right? So it could still have Knicks in there,
Yep.
but it'll be like a regular name too.
Yeah,
But this Nick takes the cake right here. I would have loved to have named him NYK. That is awesome.
that's awesome.
That's
That's
fire.
awesome. All right. Shout out to Joe from AC in the chat. Says salute. Appreciate you. If you guys can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, post it on Twitter. We're running out of episodes of the regular season, y'all. Like things are getting kind of crazy. We're starting to book brands for the postseason, but it's so weird because like brands are like, what day? And I'm like, I don't know the day, but I can tell you the week. Like you'll be on a Wednesday or a Thursday of this week. The only good thing about that though is that there aren't back-to-backs in the playoffs. So if it's not a Wednesday, it'll be a Thursday, or if it's a Thursday, it'll be a Wednesday. So that's been kind of cool to be able to at least be like, it'll be Wednesday or Thursday of that week is what we'll have. But we're getting some good heavy hitter brands for that as well. We're looking for some guests to bring up on the panel for the playoffs. We would like to bring some heavy hitters out. So if you have anyone that you would want to see us chop it up with, let us know and we can reach out to them and see if they can be that fourth member of that playoff episode. Carbon Intellect is in the building. Shout out to my guy. Said peace and abundance to Phil, Apollo, and Al. Appreciate you, bro. I'm saying the Knicks need to go at least 6 for 6 in the next 12 game stretch. I agree. But also,
Better than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say should be doing better than that.
We need to at least what they're saying. We need to at least do that. The only thing.
Go ahead.
Hold up. I'm in the Matrix.
Oh, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, you're good. You're good on our end.
Oh, okay. As long as you can hear me, I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
I can't see anything. But he's saying at least 6 for 6. The only thing that's really in our favor, and to me it's unfortunate, is the Cade Cunningham situation. The fact that Cade just got injured. He's going to be out for about 8 games, which is crazy because if he misses a 9th game, he's not eligible to be all NBA, which is crazy because he's definitely going to be all NBA, team 1 at this point. And so if he doesn't play in at least, those last few games, he will be ineligible for that, which would be such an unfortunate turn of events at the end of the season for him. But that's kind of the only thing that's in our benefit is that Detroit's going to be without him for 8 games. So that might kind of help us in the standings a little bit. So we'll kind of see. What are your guys' thoughts on the rest of the season? Like, how do you feel like we're going to end up? Do you guys feel like we're going to be in the position that we're currently at? Or do you guys think that we are going to move up in the standings?
Go ahead, Al. You go first.
I said it on the last show. I think we could catch second place with this situation with Cade. I wonder how bad they fall off. But if you take a look at, pull up Boston's schedule. They have a really hard schedule. Holy crap.
Tough schedule.
They don't have any easy games. So we can definitely take second place for sure. And then I just wonder how bad Detroit falls off because they kind of already started tapering off a little bit. Just like they seem like they lost their legs, like they've been going all out on the regular season, and they look like they've been tapering off a little bit. And now with Cade out, I wonder how bad they fall off, and then I wonder if that becomes reachable. But definitely, I think we could take second place.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Apollo?
I mean, we have probably 3 tough games left, you know what I mean, versus was like it's the Thunder, the Rockets, Thunder Rockets, and of course Boston. And then you got the Raptors as well, which they can always sneak one in on you. But sometimes it's depending on how these guys they've been playing really good defense. Sometimes the offense is a little shaky, but I think if they can continue to play as well as they've been playing at minimum, and Detroit starts to fall off a little bit, we can probably end up in the second seed, especially because, like you said, Al, because of the Boston, their schedule is a little bit tough. So it depends on how good they're able to play for the rest of the season as well.
Yeah. So, what's hard for me is I would love to be completely optimistic right now because, looking at schedules, like you said, Boston's got the hardest schedule, out of the three teams. Besides them playing the Grizzlies tomorrow, which is an easy dub. The easiest game they got from there is not till their second to last game of the season, which is against the Pelicans. So those are the two guarantees. And then, then the Raptors, which are, hit or miss. But then everything else is like Heat, Hornets twice, who are playing well, Hawks twice, Bucks that are still trying to do something, and then the Magic at the end of the season. So, yes, I believe there's that possibility to catch up, but I also have concerns after the last two games of this West Coast trip, especially the Warriors one, where we will talk about that, where we're playing a Warriors team that I don't even know 70% of the players that played that night, because none of their starters were there. And yet we squeezed by in that game. Like that was by the, skin of our teeth that we won that game. So that concerns me is like, why? Like if we're trying to move up in seeding, how are we letting the Warriors, whose ninth man is playing as their one man in this game, and we're still barely getting by? So that's concerning. In our favor, like I said, the Cade Cunningham situation, even right now, they're playing the Wizards and they're going into halftime only up 8. So it's not like they're, still doing leaps and bounds better than even the worst team in the league right now without having Cade Cunningham there. So I think it's going to be an interesting end of the season. But I also don't want to just look up. I want to look behind us as well, because Cleveland is behind us. And if we take the foot off the gas, Cleveland can also come to the rise because they have that kind of power, like Donovan Mitchell at any point in the season can turn it on, and alongside Mobley and Jared Allen. So I really want to see what we do moving forward. Shout out to Knicks Ish in the building, said she believes that we can get second, and then with us playing Boston towards the end, we can definitely flip to second. Plus, we own the tiebreaker. Phil, MSG out the best out of any brings out the best out of any NBA player, and that's true too. But it's like, come on, it's like even if even if you have the worst of the worst playing and you have one person shine, you still shouldn't be that close in the game. So I want to see what we do. Nixonish said, Phil, I think the Knicks are trying to coast to the playoffs and stay healthy. And that could be, the case too, and I'm fine with that. It's just, where are we going to fall in the seeding? Like right now, we would play the Magic if we went in that first round. And like I've always said, the Magic to me have always been a hard team for the Knicks. Like it's always been a back and forth with the Magic. But in the play-in, slots right now, where Boston's at, it would be the Heat or the Hawks, and I don't want them in the first round. So I think I'm fine with it being Magic right now. But if the Heat catch up to them, it could be the Heat, which is also always a pain in the rear for us. So I think the first round is going to be challenging for the Knicks, no matter where we're at. Third or fourth slot is going to be either the Magic or Honestly, I wouldn't mind falling to 4th right now because we'd be playing the Raptors and we could put a whooping
It's
on the Raptors.
always it's always funny when you get to the last games of the season and you're seeing like teams lose on purpose so they can get the favorable matchup. We've never done that. I don't like doing that. I'm against that. But Mike Brown is new. Like Tibbs would have never did that. But Mike Brown, I wonder if he would pull something like that to get a favorable, quote unquote, favorable matchup. Because I don't know that anything is really a favorable like that. But
yeah, I don't think he would. I honestly don't see that being the integrity of Mike Brown, you know, or our players. You know, I don't think that our players would want to throw in, you know, the hat just to play an easier team, especially like with the overcoming adversity that Cat's had to do all season. And now he's finally in his element. Like, I don't think he wants an asterisk next to like their, you know, positioning in the playoffs or anything like that. So I think the Knicks will go the harder route. I think that's what we will do because the integrity that's there.
I kind of feel like there's a lot of tape out on us anyway. So no matter who we end up playing in the first round, it's going to be a tough matchup for us. And unless we end up in like the number 1 seed and we get like a, you know, someone who barely made it to the playoffs, you know what I mean? I think we're gonna, no matter who we play, is gonna be pretty tough because, like I said, there's a lot of film on us right now and how we play. So
yeah, no, I agree. That's such a good point. I want to give a shout out and a roll call to everybody that's in the chat right now. Those that are talking, those that aren't. Joe from AC, Carbon Intellect, appreciate you. Nixon-ish, appreciate you. APAP 1586 said Detroit has a problem. That's a fact. Shout out to Joe right here for this quote. Said home advantage might be the difference between a 3rd round exit and a finals appearance for the Knicks. And that's true as well. You know, like this season we've played really good at home, you know, so we want that home court advantage. We want to be able to, you know, prove ourselves and be able to continue in the realm that we're going. Everybody in the panel, if you can, hit that tweet button, hit that Instagram repost button of the show today. It is open panel all night. So if there's something we're talking about and you have a thought, we want you to feel free to come on up. Sometimes people don't want to come up because they feel like they got to show their face and they don't like that. You don't have to do that here. You can come on up with just your microphone, speak your piece, and be part of the conversation. So open panel all night to come and go as you guys please. But let's go back. What was the last time we met? When did we have our show?
Was it last Thursday, I believe?
Yeah, last Thursday.
Yeah. So the first game would have been the Pacer game.
Indiana.
The Pacer game. Yep. And honestly, I don't think we need to talk about that. You know, like we won that one. It was whatever. Let's talk about the Golden State game. I think that one we should talk about. Because that was an interesting game for me. Like that kind of left me a little frustrated. And I know people are like, you know, we just didn't play to our best. And I understand that. But our best and our worst are completely different things. Like not playing your best and losing to a team that has some of their starters, like if Kristaps was playing, or if Green was playing, or if Steph was playing, maybe even just one of those guys, you know, or even if Moses Moody was playing, or if Al Horford was playing, but none of them played, you know. So having one of those or two of those guys playing, and then we play down to the competition, I understand. But having none of those guys playing and then still trying to say, oh, we just didn't play our best basketball. No, we didn't play good basketball at all. Like it just did not look good at all. We lost we barely won that one, 110 to 107. That should have been the easiest blowout of the season for us with their lineup and their roster. Like it really should have, but it wasn't. You know, we shot as a team 46%. Like what kind of game are you going to win when your whole team is shooting 46%? Even their list of no names shot 48.8%. So, Apollo, what was your thoughts on that overall game against Golden State? What stood out to you most?
I always feel like every time we play a team that's missing a lot of their stars, it's going to be a rough game for our guys personally, because for some reason it's like it's almost like they don't game plan for these dudes. It's, you know what I mean? It's like they don't have any tape on a lot of these guys, especially like you said, Moses Moody didn't even play. So normally you would know that, all right, well, they're going to give the ball to Moses there. But at this point, it's like, who do they give the ball to? You know what I mean? And you got Pods running the point guard, so he's going to get the ball no matter what. So I just figured this is going to be one of those games where Steve Kerr is going to try to outcoach the other coach. You know what I mean? And he has the advantage of there not being much tape on these guys. And you saw that. These guys came out there like they didn't know who these guys were. Like, what was the one? Hold on. What was the one guy? What was his name?
Gui Santos.
Gui Santos.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this? He had 20.
I was like, who is this?
He had 20 points, bro. You know what I mean? And to me, that's just a sign of you don't know this guy's game at all. Like, there was no tape. And you saw it. As the game progressed, they kind of figured out how these guys played, and then they started to close the game up. Because I'm not going to lie. Weren't we down by like 20, 21 in that game?
21. We had a 21-point comeback.
Like, what is going on here? So I knew that it was going to be rough. And once I saw us go down by 21, I was like, yeah, this one's over. But, you know, it's when you got guys like Landry and McCall who go 3 for 10, that doesn't help you. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to shoot you. That's terrible. You know what I mean? Jalen was 9 for 20, but we know Jalen's going to shoot the air out of the ball, you know. But to have your guys that you normally are going to expect to step up behind him and play a lot of minutes when he's not in the court to only give you 30% from the field, it doesn't really help you either. So, you know, frustrating, but I'm glad we eventually figured it out and got the dub.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Al?
Definitely a frustrating game. The Pacer game was frustrating too, right? That game, Phil and I watched that game together. Excuse me, over at Phil's place. Had an awesome time.
Whatever.
Excuse me. But the Pacer game was frustrating. We were up big, and then we let them come back. And then this game, it not only was it that Golden State had no name brand players playing, we had our full deck. Against the Pacers. Towns didn't play, right? And that was Mitch's first start. I don't know if it was first start of the season, but he got 22 rebounds that game. He played an awesome game. That was the highlight for me of the Pacer game. And then we come to this game, and I'm like, okay, we got a full deck. Everybody got a little maintenance days, and we're playing these G League guys. Like, we should smoke these guys, and they didn't. And you know, it's kind of been the theme the whole year, right? Like the starting lineup, for some reason they just start slow. I thought we were going to lose the game against Golden State. I texted my group chat. I'm like, this is the game where it's going to bite them and they're not going to be able to come back. And you know what? I kind of was hoping that it was that game, because I don't want it to happen in the playoffs where it finally comes back to bite you. You can't come back, right? They keep playing this they keep towing this line, man. And they think that they could just flip the switch. And when it comes playoff time, you know, they've done it before, but like, I just don't want to play that game, dude. Like, I don't want to play that game, man. They got to snap out of that. Mike Brown, I don't remember which game it was that Mike Brown came out and was like, we got to stop doing this. I don't know if it was after the Golden State game. It might have been after that game.
I think it was at that one.
Yeah. But he's had enough of it too. So hopefully he gets it corrected.
Yeah. You know, what was really weird to me was like in that game, like you guys said, it was all no names. And for me, it's not so much that we let people shoot lights out, but we let them dictate whether we were playing good basketball or not, you know? And that's the frustrating part. I see Joe down here. I'm going to bring you up right after this. I want to hear your take, Joe. But the frustrating thing is like in those kind of moments where you know that these guys are low tier, no name, haven't really gotten burned, you utilize that to your advantage. And you do that by, yes, we didn't know how to guard them, but they also don't know how to guard us. Like they've barely played, significant minutes in a game all season. So the fact that our assists were at like 23 for the whole night and we weren't actually trying to like allow each player to cook in that game, that's the kind of game where you try to let everybody cook. Like you don't have to rely on one guy. You shouldn't have to. And the fact that Jalen Brunson had to take 20 shots for us to even be in that game is crazy to me because it shouldn't have been the case. Like Jalen Brunson should not have had to put up that many shots in order for us to play. And I'm not blaming him because, he actually had 9 assists from that night. So his assist game was on point. But the rest of the team, like not it. And when you look based off the breakdown of, first and second half, it wasn't like Jalen Brunson was just shooting all night for the sake of shooting all night. But I just don't think the other guys were contributing and trying to find each other. And so in that second half, I feel like that third quarter really helped us. Maybe fourth quarter with his comeback. But, he went 4 for 8 in the second half. So it wasn't like he was shooting the most of his shots at the end of the game. Everybody should have been contributing, but we had so much fall off in that second quarter. Luckily, Karl Anthony Towns put up 13 in that second half as well. But everybody else kind of ghosted. Landry Shamet did okay. Jordan Clarkson continues to be someone that needs to be in the starting lineup. And we're going to talk about the biggest sore thumb of the New York Knicks after we hear Joe's take. But my biggest frustration is that we didn't capitalize. Not that they played well, but the fact that we didn't try to make sure that everybody else feasted in that game. Like, this is the kind of game that you let OG dominate because none of them are strong enough to stop OG. Like, none of them have the experience. But we didn't do any of that. Like, we just didn't. It was a very rough game to watch. And I'm hoping that that's the last one of those that we have to watch for the rest of the season. But let's find out what Joe thinks. What up, Joe?
Yo. What's up, guys? Salute. How we doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I know, Joe.
Good, man. I hear you guys talk about a good topic here. Something I've been talking about recently is Jordan Clarkson, right?
Yep.
So, well, I've been a big proponent of him to get back in the lineup. Yep. I know they took him out because of defense, but I've always said, like, I'm willing to sacrifice some defense if it means we can get our offense going.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel about that. I know the numbers look different when we had Jordan Clarkson and Kolek in the lineup, and there was a little bit of a change when they were taken out because we wanted to shore up our defense. But I don't know if that was the best thing that we should have done. I mean, I know how Clarkson's been looking as of late, though, and that's what I want to see going down the stretch. Like, he's heating up right now at the perfect time for us. We got 12 games left. He's given us his 25-point game. That game was awesome. I know his defense can be a little shaky at times, but, I just like the way that he can penetrate the defense. Like, when he drives to the basket and makes the defense collapse, like, that's something that I feel like we've been missing this season. I feel like it's been part of the stagnation problem that we've been seeing on our offense.
Yeah.
You know,
and I agree with you. I was actually on the Nick of Time show before Jordan even started having those games. And I was pitching to them, the idea of, okay, if Jordan Clarkson can't play, there has to be valid reasons that we're watching. Okay, it's beneficial for him not to be on the court. But it hasn't been. Like we've gone on very stagnant runs where we can't score a bucket for 4 to 5 minutes at a time. Like we're not looking great offensively. We need someone that can initiate and be willing to take the shots that some of these guys aren't. And so I had pitched, listen, give him some of Mikal Bridges' minutes because Mikal Bridges is having 0-point nights, 3-point nights, 6-point nights. That's not going to help our Knicks be able to contend because a few Jordan Clarkson minutes where he's not offensively defensively contributing is not going to help. Not going to hurt compared to 8 to 12 minute stretches at a time where Mikal Bridges gives us nothing. Like we need something. And Lee agreed with me. Lee agreed with me. Some of the others, not so much. But then what did we see? The next 3 nights in a row were not going to be wins without Jordan Clarkson minutes. And so I completely agree. We need that offensive willingness. We need that willingness to draw contact because Mikal Bridges is allergic to any physical activity. Like, I don't know, like, how his girlfriend, fiance, whoever she is, feels. He's got that same thing in life where she, like, goes to hug him and he's like, like, freaks out, she goes in for the kiss and he does a fade away, like.
Could you imagine that?
He just fades back and she's like trying to kiss him. I don't know if that's like through and through how he acts, but on the court, he's allergic to physicality. And so I think Jordan Clarkson is, key to getting those kind of buckets, and he's proved himself more and more. And I feel like Mikal Bridges' minutes should be given to him, not obviously entirely, but there's enough minutes that Mikal plays that he can sacrifice. And Mike Brown has seen that too. You've seen some games where Mikal has sat in the fourth and Jordan has played. So shout out to Mike Brown for actually being willing to make the thing that most people on Knicks Twitter would have crucified us all for saying on Twitter. So I agree with you, Joe.
Well, yeah, to kind of to piggyback off that a little bit, I just want to say that, for Mikal Bridges, like, he's our fourth option, right? So when our offense is working best, it's when he's scoring 10 to 15 points, and his usage is below about 10 to less shots. And when he's scoring 10 to 15 points, our record is 22-7. When he scores more than 20 points, we're 7-8. So the less shots that he takes, in my opinion, the better. The more points he's scoring is kind of like a bad omen because that means our other guys aren't going and they're missing. So, with Mikal Bridges, we just want to make sure that he sits in our offense the way we need him. Any more, it kind of hurts us. And like we've been seeing as of late, any less hurts us as well. So, like I said, if we could put him off the bench and we can put him on the bench and see how he does, getting some spot minutes. I still would like to see him in the fourth quarter playing those defensive roles against some of the top scorers. But, for me right now, like, I want to see a little bit of a lineup change. So I do agree with you there.
Yeah. And here's the thing is point like defense in the fourth doesn't matter if we can't score a bucket, like we still have, OG Anunoby. We still have Mitchell Robinson's been playing a lot of, double big lineups with Cat. Cat has been playing pretty good freaking defense, which is crazy words coming off of my tongue. But if we can't score a bucket and they're double, triple teaming Jalen Brunson because he's the only one that's going to take shots, Jordan Clarkson minutes are important in those moments to free up Jalen Brunson and to also be able to draw the defense or get the easy bucket. Because whether he can be streaky or not, he's one player that's confident as crap to take the shot. And you got to give him credit for that. What are your thoughts, Apollo? I saw you trying to say something.
I got two things. So one is, why did we get Jordan Clarkson, right? You know what I mean? Like, did we get him for defense? We all knew he wasn't going to play no defense. Come on. Like, no one learns how to play defense overnight, right? So that's why you surround guys with defenders. You did it for Brunson, you do it for Cat. So, like, keep it going, right? So that was my mindset on that. So when he got sat for the defensive thing, I'm like, that has to be a coaching adjustment that the coach is working his way through. And I guess Jordan was like a casualty of that, you know what I mean, in a way. But you're starting to see now you need a guy like that when nobody else can really get a bucket like that. Let's all right. I'll say this. No one else on the team outside of Brunson has as much confidence in their offensive game as Jordan Clarkson. And that's, to me personally, that's just how I feel. I feel like he is super confident in himself offensively.
Yeah.
Sometimes even more than Cat. So
yeah,
I think the reason why you get that guy is, yeah, sometimes he's going to be streaky. Sometimes he's not going to play the greatest defense. But, you know, you need that kind of offensive punch, especially off the bench. Now, my second point, which is kind of a hot take, it's people will, you know, might take it weird, but there's a reason why. So I think McCown needs to miss a game. I think he needs to miss a game. Just one. Just to reset the clock so that he doesn't have to have that. Because I really feel like he doesn't attack the basket and get contact. I really feel like he's scared of hurting himself so he doesn't miss the game. I truly feel like that's part of it. And if you just miss a game, and first of all, you play as many games as you play in a row, I still don't think he's going to catch that number one spot. Like, I think that's still pretty far. As many games as he is he's second, and he's still got a long way to go before he gets that first spot. I think that's a lot of pressure on a player that you can't miss it. Listen, I've never gone an entire year and not missed a day of work. Sorry, it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? I need a me day. So at some point, I just think he needs to reset the clock so that he can get back to business. Personally, I just think that it'll help him, you know, a little bit more. But that's just my input on that.
Yeah, I like. Here's the thing: is I know the numbers, okay, but I feel like the numbers, you know, get skewed. You know, like, oh well, when he shoots this, yes, but the reason those numbers are skewed is because there are games where he will go 7 of 8 in the first half and then not shoot at all for some reason in the second half, and then we still lose the game. Well, yeah, it's gonna look like because he shot more shots that game, you know, that we don't win games when he shoots a lot of shots. It's no, we didn't win games because he was the most accurate shooter we had in 2 quarters of basketball, and then he didn't put up a single shot in the second half. He completely ghosted. You know, so those numbers do get skewed when you look at that. And like a lot of times, you know, he plays best, you know, when Jalen Brunson's not on the floor. And unfortunately, most of their minutes together are what we see, you know, in most games. And so that also skews numbers, you know, because even when he does shoot shots, when Jalen's on the court, it's usually a corner 3, or, you know, like after last, I think it was the last game. The announcers are like, if you are having such a hard time shooting and your numbers are like historically down for you as a player, why are you continuing to shoot the 3 instead of the mid shot that you know you are like lethal and accurate from? Do something to help yourself start getting back into the rhythm, to start getting your shot back. And he kept shooting 3s. Why? Because when he's out on that lineup, Jalen's not looking for him on the cut. They're not really working that kind of offense. That only happens when it's like him and Alvarado, him and Shamet, him and Hart. That's when you see the easy Mikal buckets start to happen. Otherwise, when it's him and Jalen, he's out at the end, or he's passing it back to Jalen or to Cat, and then catching it at the end when time's about to run out, and he chucks up a horrible 3. So that also skews the numbers. I do think we are best when Mikal can shoot the ball accurately and put up numbers, because we suffer when Jalen Brunson is the guy having to take 30 shots a game. Like, those numbers are proven. When Jalen shoots a certain amount of shots, we lose games. That's just a number that Tommy Beer has continued to put out over and over and over again. What are your thoughts, Al?
I mean, I agree with you guys. I'm personally not a big Mikal fan, just because his brand of basketball is way too soft for me. I'm from the '90s. I got my boy Mason up there, who was not. He was the opposite of soft. You know what I mean? And so, like, I like physical, tough brand of basketball. He's the polar opposite of what I like. But I was thinking about what Joe was saying. He was saying to start him. And, you know, it might not be a bad idea to start Clarkson, because you also mentioned the fourth quarter, and like the Knicks are great in the fourth quarter. We're actually really good in the fourth. I don't have any problems with the Knicks in the fourth quarter and whoever they play. The problem is the first quarter. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, man, I agree.
So we have to like kind of shuffle it up a little bit and see if he can be that spark plug in the first quarter. And we have like 13 games left. Like, let's give it a try. I wonder if Mike Brown's actually going to do that. Now, this is the can of worms that I want to open up. Like, we can sit here and pontificate about all this stuff. That is very easy to talk about, but these decisions are not easy to make. There's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot of politics that goes into this. For Mike Brown to bench Mikal Bridges, who his boss, Leon Rose, gave up 5 to 6 picks for, and then also gave him an extension for $30 million per year. For Mike Brown to come in and bench him could be a slap in the face to Leon Rose, or let's say Leon Rose is aligned. What is the big homie gonna say? JD. He's going to be like, you just made me extend this guy $150 million, and now you're benching him? Like, so now this looks bad on Leon Rose, and Leon Rose ain't about to do that. So, like, this is a big deal. This isn't just like, oh, let me just go ahead and bench him. It's not that easy. There's a lot that goes on into this.
So I agree that there's a lot that goes into it. But when I think of Leon Rose, and I think of wide homeboy's name just Dolan, and you think of Dolan,
JD.
When you think of them, okay, yes, they don't want to have to admit that giving Mikal, for 5 picks and all this money and whatever was a bad choice, right? But if we lose and they still had him in the starting lineup,
worse.
Now it's a double win. Now you're, you didn't take us to where we needed to go, and you extended this guy. As opposed to what both of them have said is what matters most is bringing a chip to New York.
Facts.
You do whatever you need to do to bring a chip to New York. Like, there is nothing that you go, oh, but what if people think I made a mistake with Mikal? It doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, if you giving him less minutes or allowing him to close the game defensively when we need him, but not start the game, brings us closer to a chip, and we actually get to the chip, now no one's talking about Mikal sitting down. No one's talking about how could you give up 5 picks and have him do that if you found a way for him to do better. For instance, we were all having this frustrating as crap Karl Anthony Towns conversations, right?
Yeah.
We're not having those conversations anymore. Why? Because Mike Brown found a way to still invest in Cat, encourage Cat to still contribute in other ways. And now the ways that Karl is contributing is helping us win even more than when Karl was putting up 30-plus points a night. Like, now he's not getting us in foul trouble. Now he's actually grabbing rebounds when Mitchell Robinson is sitting and we need the boards. Now he's assisting like crazy. Now he's playing all-star level basketball more so than when he was scoring. So it's found a way to work, and no one's talking about Karl Anthony Towns anymore. No one's talking about, they never should have traded for him. We should have traded him in the offseason. How come we didn't give him up for Giannis? Why? Because the new way of him playing, when he bought into the new ways of being used by Mike Brown, are now working. So when things work, no one complains about why it looks different. They just complain when it looks the same and doesn't work. Before you go, Al, I want to give a shout out to my guy, Jay Boogie. He said this conversation is building on some actual facts. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. My guy, Jay Boog. Appreciate you, my guy.
Facts.
Open panel all night, Jay. If you want to come up and talk your talk at all on a certain topic that we bring up, you are welcome to. All right. Sadu Barry. Shout out. Appreciate you.
What I was gonna say is it gets even a little bit deeper than that, and I don't want to get too psychological about it, but it's like, okay, so let's say Mike Brown has the idea, yo, I gotta get this guy, I want to try this, right?
Yeah.
But now he's thinking about all the things that I just said. He's in his head. He's in his own head, right? He's like, I can't do that, man. Because how's Leon going to take that? How's that going to look on Leon? Like he's in his own head and doesn't try it. Like I wonder how much they're collaborating. Because will Leon come to him and be like, yo, you should try this? I don't know if Leon would do that. They talk about being collaborative, but it starts to get a little bit more complicated because like even Mike Brown, even if he wants to do it, he could also get in his own head because we are talking about his bosses and we are talking like it could get like it could get deep.
He's that kind of guy though. I don't think he's that kind of guy. Because from the get-go, he was like, I got things I want to try. Like even when there was the turnaround in the season, he said, I've been thinking about some things that we're gonna have to try. And so I think Mike Brown is the kind of guy that's assertive enough to make those attempts. He's been able to see if it worked or not and kind of make the changes. Like he's the kind of guy that looked and said, Mo Diawara is being more of a contributor. So I'm going to make that change. And he did. Landry Shamit's being more of the contributor right now. I'm going to make that change. Jordan Clark being more of that guy. I'm going to make that change.
So you think you think he's going to make a change to the starting lineup? You think he's going to try stuff like down these?
I don't think it's going to be immediate. But I think that if we see another game or two like that from Mikal, I think we will. Because there was like a 5-game stretch where it was unexcusable. Homeboy had had less points per game than the amount of picks that we gave up for him. Like that's insane. Like when you are averaging 3 to 4 points a game and we gave you 5 picks, now the 5 picks is an issue. You never heard me last year or even early in the season talk about 5 picks, even on a horrible like 12-point shooting night or something like that. But when you are averaging 4 to 5 points in a 4-game stretch, we got to talk about it. We got to rethink things, So I think there is that possibility that they will make some changes. But we got to see. But before we talk about that, let's go into that first pour real quick. Since we got a tonight. Yeah. Joe, you a whiskey guy?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All right. You need to check these out, my guy. All right. What's your favorite whiskey?
Honestly, man, it all depends. Because I don't want to say it because you guys are going to be like, oh, that's so basic in general. So
just go ahead, man.
There's no hate, bro. There's no hate.
I honestly, I'm a big Irish whiskey fan. I like Tullamore Dew.
Okay.
Tullamore Dew. Yeah. That's my favorite.
There's a brand that I worked with that is real dope called Keeper's Heart. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. They're an Irish whiskey brand as well that I did some photo work for. Really great people there.
That's
so
crazy. I know about Tullamore Dew only because of their commercial. I'm like, yeah, that's a catchy commercial. Everybody's in the thing, they're going like this. I was like, oh, that's a cool commercial there. I'll try it.
Just kind of brings back memories for me of drinking it. I don't know, just from all the times going out and stuff.
But, I feel you. All right, so this is a brand called ASW. All right, and they are out of Atlanta, Georgia. And what's different about them is a lot of brands that aren't anywhere near Indiana and stuff like that. A lot of them are bottlers, NDPs, but these guys are not NDPs. They are actual distillers. My guy Witt is second in command there. And what these guys remind me of is kind of like when you watch something on TikTok and someone's like, I have an idea. I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to at least try it, and like, that's what made them famous is that they're always trying crazy things that end up being awesome. Good. That's these guys as distillers. And you'll see that on some of the ones that we try today. So they are an Atlanta crew that make whiskey and pretty much anything with grain. So it's, a lot of it is like fruit based. With the flavors, you'll see that. But their vibe is very Southern roots. Creative, local grain, small batches, and just spirits that taste like they were done with, intentionality. And it's crazy because it's random, but fully intentional. So this brand is really, really delicious. And this first pour that we're going to do is the Chin Music. And this bottle specifically was one that they released partnered with the Atlanta Braves. They did this as like a Atlanta Pride kind of bottle. 6th bottle anniversary for Truist Park. This one right here is, let me look at that proof real quick. The Chin Music is 116.6 proof, and it's a bourbon whiskey with charred white oak and charred maple wood. So not just like maple wood, but charred maple wood. So you get that extra char and charred white oak. So let's give this a pour right now. Shout out
And you
to
said
ASW.
this is their own juice, right? They distill their own juice.
All their own juice. Yep.
That's awesome.
So boom, Chin Music right there. Cool little art. This is one of they have like a few different brands, and one of them is the ASW Fiddler. 3 of the ones we'll be tasting today are Fiddler. It's got that little cello in the middle. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm a little older, so like when I'm drinking, I like having a little ginger ale.
No,
sir. No, sir. No. You say you're a little older. What's a little older?
I'm like 34.
Oh, bro.
Oh, dude, you're younger than us.
You're younger than all.
You're younger than all of us.
Oh, all right.
And I'm the youngest one by far.
Yeah, for real.
I still got you.
I got all of y'all. All right. I'm 41 years old, bro. Like,
all right.
I don't look it. Thank God. You just complimented the hell out of me, bro. I appreciate you. I'm gonna have my wife watch this part of the episode over and over and over again.
Complimented all of us. Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
All right, boys. Cheers.
Hey, man. Cheers.
Let's go right
Cheers
into it.
to youth and life. Yeah.
Mm. That's good. Going for another one.
Yeah, I got to figure out what notes I'm picking up.
Sorry.
Oh, you even got the tasting glass too. Those are the ones you got to use.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good.
I used to bar back for a little bit back in
the
summer, so those glasses are always using those.
Yeah, I love these Glencairns. I won't drink whiskey out of anything else unless I'm in like a hotel and all they got is red Solo cups. I gotta do what I gotta do. All right. What are your thoughts, Al?
I can't. I gotta try it again. Hold on. You might have to come back to me.
All right, Apollo. What are your thoughts?
I was about to say a note, and then another note hit me. What up, Cecil? So I'm getting a little bit of chocolate.
Okay.
I'm getting a little bit of chocolate in there, which is a note that I always like to catch. But it's good. It's smooth. It has some heat to it. Some lingering heat. I think I might give it another pour too. But yeah, I'm getting like a chocolatey kind of taste to it, but a nice smooth one with a nice heat kick that continues on for a little while.
That's the note that I was picking up. Butterscotch towards the end. I'm getting some butterscotch.
Yes, sir.
I was trying to remember what that was because it wasn't coming to my head. Butterscotch. I don't taste the maple. Hold on.
Oh, I taste the maple for sure.
Where do you taste it? Like the front, middle, or the back palate?
Towards
the front?
No, towards the middle and end.
Middle, yeah.
So when they say maple, like there's a lot of brands that overly use the like sweet maple flavor, Yeah. And you get too much maple. This is charred maple, so it reminds me of like, like a smoky kind of all natural maple. It's not the Aunt Jemima type like sugary, sweet, but it's actual maple, like maple candies that you can buy at Disney in Canada, kind of thing. And it's got a little bit of a smoky note to it. I too get that butterscotch, but I'm also getting some like nutmeg on it with the rice spice, which I really, really enjoy. And the spice is not like rye spice, but like baking spices. So I love this. This is a really good pour.
Yeah,
This is an
nice.
8-year. And I feel
I was
like
gonna ask you that.
for an 8-year and for, its proof, I think it drinks right about what it is. I don't think it drinks under proof. Like, it's not underwhelming in any way, shape, or form. But it's not like overly, too much, on the palate or in the chest. So I think this is a great pour.
So this is considered a toasted bourbon.
No, so this is
Oh,
just finished in oak casks that
okay.
are charred. So like when you have an oak cask or and a maple cask, they finished it in both of them. And what they do is like the barrel is just extra charred over time. So it's just how the barrel was. So we will be tasting one that is a little more, so it's got like hints of what a toasted is, but like the process isn't exactly, how they do a toasted.
I
So
also wanted to say just this is in conjunction with the Atlanta Braves, and just this is a basketball podcast, but if any of you guys like baseball and like visiting the stadiums, their stadium is incredible. And I highly
yeah,
recommend you check them out. So Truist
okay,
Park is amazing. Definitely
okay,
worth checking out.
yeah. And so when you talk about like just for the people that are watching and for you, shout out to my big bro. He's in the building. He said,
Yo,
"Hola,
so
homie.
what up?
What up, papa?" So the difference between charred and toasted is what it sounds like. When you make toast, right? You don't look to black the crap out of your toast. Like anytime your toast comes out and it's like pitch black, you're like, ah, crap. Like you're either tossing that piece of bread or like me, if you don't want to waste the money, you're grabbing a knife right over the trash can and scrape until it's like not completely black. That's what toasted is. Apollo, you're on silent. You're muted.
My bad. I said like that scene from Life.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Scraping off
you're scraping it off. You don't want it to be like that.
make a lot of noise. Make a lot of noise.
Not at all. So that's what like toasted is. That you get a little bit of heat, but it's not burnt. And a charred barrel is the complete opposite. Like you want that barrel to be black as can be, so that all the flavors come in as rich as possible from that barrel. So you get all the maple that used to be like hidden inside that wood. You kind of smoke it out a little bit so that it gets into the whiskey a little more. So that's the difference between a toasted and a charred. Charred is exactly what it says, like full on Charizard, burn the living daylights out of that barrel. Toasted is heated up a bit to get some of those flavors. Carbon Intellect asked if I played Apollo single yet. No, I haven't. Apollo, send me that link in the text. We're gonna play that before the
Apollo, I didn't
episode's
even
done.
know you rapped. Oh my
Bro.
god.
Yo, oh yeah, you're the new one here. Me and Apollo, we're going on like over a season and a half of telling our viewers that we were going to create an album together, and we still have 2 years and we haven't created one song yet. So
Oh god. Oh,
everybody that we lied to 2 years ago, I apologize. And everybody we've lied to in between,
Oh, man.
sincerest of apologies. But let's go, while Apollo sends that over to me, let's go on to the topic of Mikal Bridges. Okay. A little more in detail. It's crazy to me that the guy who probably had it the easiest in the transition, like his role didn't really change much at all compared to everybody else's role. Yet he is having the hardest second half of this season since the All-Star break, which is crazy because it looks like our team fell into what we wanted them to be in the first half of the season. They fell into that, and yet he took steps backwards. I don't know what to do here, and it's frustrating because we've had this conversation so much with the Nick of Time show, guys and girls, and for me, this is the guy that if he was anybody else except Jalen Brunson's best friend, bench minutes would have started a lot quicker for him. Like if he was anybody else in the roster that played to the low measurement that he is playing, he would have already been sat so many times. I'm thankful that Mike Brown is now starting to do it. But what do you guys think the issue is? Like, he's
or if
not
he didn't
playing-
have those blocks in the playoffs last year. Remember those blocks? against the
Yeah.
Celtics?
This is the
You know what I'm
craziest
saying?
thing. Anytime
You know what I'm
you critique Mikal Bridges, everyone's like,
People bring
look
that
those
up.
2 blocks. I'm like, yo,
Game
bro.
6.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, that's all it takes.
I don't go.
for perception.
I don't tell a friend who's like, yo, my girl's cheating on me, and I'm like, bro, look at all those years of faithfulness. You know, like I don't ignore what's happening right now.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yo, Phil,
That's
look at the text
crazy.
messages. Like, I'm like, bro, you got to ignore those pics because
Oh,
you know, look at all the, you know, like to me, I can't do that. I can't keep going back to the glory days or something. It's like that one fat guy that lives in Texas and he's going to every like high school football game and talking about, you know, how good he used to be. And now he doesn't even have a job. You know, it's like, I don't care that you used to be all pro cornerback. Congratulations. What are you doing for me now? And so for me, I can't just bank on those things. Do I hope that he comes to himself like before the playoffs? Yes. But as of right now, that's not good enough. What are your thoughts, Al?
I'll shoot him some bail. And I never do this, but I'll shoot him some bail just for the sake, because I know no one else is going to shoot him any bail. So I'm gonna shoot him some bail right now. I'm looking at his number of attempts in the month of March. He had 2 games where he attempted 17 shots. The rest are like 10 or less, 7, 8, 6, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 12. He came from a situation on the Nets where he knew he was going to put up 15 shots a night, nightly, right? So if you start off 0 for 3, it's different, right? Because you know you're going to get another 15 shots, another 10 shots. On this team, he's like the 4th option, right? And so it's hard for him to get into a rhythm with the amount of shots that he's shooting and the way he's getting his shots. Like, we don't really run any sets for him. Like, I don't see us doing enough to get him going. I think we did a little bit more at the beginning of the season, but nowadays, like, I don't see us doing a lot to get him going at all. I'm just trying to shoot him a little bit of bail. I'm just trying to shoot him a little bit of bail. But that could be an argument. That could be an argument. The other argument for why he plays that way is what everyone says is that daggone streak that he's on. I wish he would just catch a stomach bug and miss a game so that he can, like, I don't know what ailments he has. He did roll his ankle the other day. That looked pretty bad where he shot that crazy looking layup. I think that was against Indiana. So maybe he misses a game and he can just get right. But and maybe the 1 week in between the regular season and the playoffs helps him recuperate. But those are the only things that I could think of, man. I'm trying to think of reasons like why he's performing this way, because he has been a number one. He averaged 20 points per game, right, with the Nets.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. Did we trade for him this summer?
No, this is the second year. That was
Okay.
Yeah.
So the excuse of he was a different player at this place doesn't matter. We didn't recruit anybody into the starting lineup this summer. It's the same starting lineup that it was last year. So that would have been a good excuse last year, that he's got to transition from being a number 1 option to being a number 4 option. But he's been that number 4 option. And my whole thing is, I don't care. I don't want Mikal Bridges to be a 20-plus point scorer a night at all. But what Mikal needs to do for what he's getting paid and what he was traded for is be consistent. Like, you can't give me 24 points one night, 0 the next, 4 the next, 8 the next, and then 22 the next. Like, that is not going to help us at all. Like, at all. What we need is consistent. You want to be low and consistent, I'm fine. Give me 12 points a night and stop. You know, like, I'm okay with that. But to go from up here to then down here, then here is like a GPS that is like, I'm taking you to New York. You start driving to New York. It's like detour to California. It's like, how the hell did that happen? Why am I driving to California now? Oh, now I'm in Texas. Like, why? I don't get it. So for me, that excuse doesn't work because it's not that first season. We just need consistency out of Mikal Bridges. And that's the one thing he's not giving us is consistency. Like, it's hard to bank on somebody night in and night out when you don't know that they're reliable. Like, it's like you go to any like work thing when you were younger or any like church youth group thing, and it's like, hey, we're going to do a trust fall. And it was like, okay, but if you go and the person that's supposed to catch you, you just watched them drop like 50% of the people that they were supposed to catch, you ain't going back. Like, you ain't taking that risk. You just saw like 5 out of 10 concussions. Like, why are you going to trust in that? You know? And so for me, Mikal Bridges is that guy that I don't want behind me on a trust fall. What are your thoughts, Apollo?
So, all right. So because I want to be on point, what exactly was the question again?
What are your thoughts on like where Mikal Bridges has been at in these last like 2-3 months?
No, but I thought he asked why is it like how explain away like why he's performing.
You can explain away, but that's just like I said. I ain't gonna forgive the current cheating for the 2 playoff blocks before. Just like I'm not gonna say like, oh, but it's a new relationship. Like, bro, you've been married 2 years. What you talking about? That's Mikal's been in this for 2 years. That's not an excuse.
I don't know, man. I feel like the guy gets into his head a lot. Like it's weird because sometimes in the same game you'll see like 3 different Mikal Bridges. It's kind of weird. It's weird because he's really good at what he does. Like when he's locked in and he gets to that spot, like he can knock down that shot all day, every day. I've never seen anyone be able to consistently get to the same spot and get open on every. He might not make them all, but he can get open on that fadeaway at the midi every time, and everyone knows it's coming. I've never seen anyone block it. Even if you try to defend it, his arms are too long. You know what I mean? Like it's so. To me, it's. I think it's an aggression / confidence kind of thing, because to me, as a basketball player, I said it plenty of times about Cat. Like when you don't demand, and I'm not saying, hey, give me the effing ball, like kind of situation. But if you don't let your team know that you want the ball, you're not gonna get the ball. You're not gonna get it. You know what I mean? And I know you have to play within the system for sure, but you see him sometimes just running sets. He doesn't actually like run the set to like get open and get the ball kind of thing. Sometimes he's just running the set, and it's like, what happened? Did somebody say something to you? Like what? You know what I mean? Like it's like you were just cooking. And it's weird because I really was happy when we got him, and I'm like, yo, we got somebody who is going to be able to guard almost anybody in the league, unless they're stronger than him, obviously. And his ability to knock down an open shot, to create his own shot is it's not bad. We seen him do it, like you said, as the number 1 guy. So you have the talent, you have the ability to give me 20 a game. We're not even asking for that. We're not asking for 20. That's the sad part about all of this, is we're not asking for 20 points a game. We're literally just asking you, like you said earlier, Phil, give us 11, 12 on this team as the 4th option. You're averaging 30 plus minutes a game. You can give me 12 points, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Consistent.
And to my point earlier about Cat, like Cat has hit that weird slump for a long time, but he found other ways to contribute. Like he all of a sudden was like, I can't score. I don't know why, but now I'm pulling down 15 rebounds a game. Like he found other ways to contribute. Like with Mikal, it's like, okay, giving me a really good defensive game after 3, mediocre defensive games and 5 horrible offensive games doesn't erase everything. Like raise the bar somewhere. Like if you're going to have a trouble, like producing points, go 0 points, but find a way to give me 10 assists and find a way to get me 6 more rebounds. Do something every single night to make us go, he's still contributing. But at the end of the day, when you go, okay, he got a steal, a block, and forced the turnover. Well, yeah, he's a two-way player. We traded for that, but we also traded for a two-way player. So a one-way player that's still not even excelling in that one part that he did contribute is an issue. You got to excel somewhere to make us go, okay, he's struggling offensively, but defensively and to make up for his offense, he's doing this. And we see that. But that's not the case. It's just not. He should be in this slump. He should have won defensive player of the game. He should have 52 pairs of Tims by now. You're going to play this bad, you got hard hats and Tims for days, bro. Congratulations. But that's not the case. And so, Joe, what's your thought, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm agreeing with a lot of what you guys are saying, honestly. But I do think, the big thing about it is, like you said, is with the expectation and it's kind of almost like a perfect storm, with do you guys think he might be just a little injured or something? Because I don't know. For me, watching him last year, when he was shooting in that midi, in that lethal spot, he was getting much higher off the ground. I feel like he was able to shoot over his defender. Now it seems like this year, a lot of the stuff it looks like it's line driving in and spinning out. He's hitting the front of the rim. I don't know, man. Maybe he might be dealing with some kind of little injury that's not letting him get up there. Cause I know he can shoot the, shoot the thing out of the ball when he gets up there, man. But
honestly, I just think because there's nights that he does, there's nights where he'll put up that, I think it's a matter of, I don't think he believes that he's the player we traded for.
Yeah, and then on top of that, if you add that aspect of him thinking, if he's in his head too, oh, maybe I'm really not the guy that they, for me, man, being in his position, it must be tough because your shots are going down because you're the fourth option. If you're getting it off the ball, you're getting it from the corner. For me, man, if I were to give him any advice, Mikal Bridges, if you're listening to this, what we need you to do, man, when you get the ball, just get in the paint, break down the defense, just get in there and make the defense move because no one else that I'm seeing is doing it. I've seen a lot of stagnation. I'm seeing a lot of standing around. I'm seeing a lot of ball watching. Someone needs to cut into the paint. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you guys feel about that.
No, I agree. No. Here's the thing is, I said, I'm not looking for a certain amount of shots going up, a certain amount of points. Because when you look before, we were is Cat in his head? Did he forget how to shoot? But none of us are talking about Cat forgetting how to shoot right now. Why? Because, like I said, he's found another way to contribute. So if he is in his head and he's doubting his shot, then he can't just go, well, I'm doubting my shot. Let's see what happens. He's got to say, what else can I focus on? What else can I do? Like you said, okay, I know that I don't like contact, but I also know that if I drive the ball, I'm going to get a double.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to drive the ball. It'll help us so much because we don't do that.
Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice the fact that I'm scared of being touched, and I'm going to drive, and I know that that'll help the team. Do something. Find a way to help, even if it's out of your comfort zone. Cat was not this elite rebounder before. And now we're holy cow, look at his numbers, when it comes to grabbing rebounds.
I hate to cut you off, man, but do you think we might have a little bit of an IQ issue on our team? When it comes to the offensive end? Because I feel at times we just don't look like we know what's going on. We don't look like we're all on the same page. Sometimes I see them do pick and roll actions, out of the shotgun. You'll see Mitch set the pick, and then he'll dump the pass off, and they'll get a quick look. And that's the double big lineup that you like. You know what I'm saying?
I do think it takes more than a year for for a team to hit their stride in a new system.
Yeah.
People compare us to if you look at the way Detroit plays, they've been together for a while, and then they've been under this coach for 2-3 years now. So And then if you look at Cleveland, like how they could just plug and play Harden is crazy because that group has been together. And so like it's a combination of things. Like you gotta have years continuity and chemistry is important. And I think Mike Brown's system is so vastly different than Tom Thibodeau's that these guys are still trying to figure their way out through this stuff. So I think they need more time to.
I'm so glad you brought up Tibbs. I'll bring this up later. Go ahead, Phil. But I just want to say, with Tibbs, man, there's something I really want to bring up. But go ahead.
Yeah. I think it's a both and, like, yes, it takes time, to connect and build that chemistry. Okay. But the difference between Harden being able to plug and play into a new lineup, like completely, and it's still flow, is that the players are playing the same form of basketball night in and night out. And even if some of their schemes change and stuff, they're all playing the same way. So what you see from the New York Knicks, I was watching a video the other day, and it was kind of hard to watch because it was this lady in Central Park, and she's being interviewed by this guy, and she's talking about how she has 4 personalities within her, and that each one is trying to, be in control. And it reminded me of that movie Split, that had all those personalities. And I'm watching it, and it's not a movie, so it's even harder to watch, because this lady's got like the different ones that are trying to outspeak the other one that's apparently inside of her, and then one comes out. And so each one was drastically different. And I feel like that happens so much with our New York Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on if Jalen Brunson is in team mode or if he's in ISO mode, that's a completely different style of basketball that you see out there. Like when certain players come in, like Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet loves to shoot, but he also loves to find his teammates, And so depending on who you're playing with in our roster, or even the same guy from night in and night out or quarter to quarter, it can seem like, which identity are we playing right now? Like, it's not a general consensus of we play selfless basketball. We do this. It's kind of like, I think it was like Coach Carter. He had that rule. No one shoots till 3 people touch the ball or something like that.
I love that rule.
Yeah. And if it wasn't Coach Carter, it was one of those other NBA movies.
We need that.
Exactly. If that was the general consensus, but it's like, oh my goodness, look at that. The Knicks passed 8 times on that possession. And then it's like, Jalen Brunson came down, 22 minutes on the clock, and he shoots it, like, wait, what just happened? Like, that's 2 different plays. I think that's hard for anybody to fully figure out which style of play, minute to minute, quarter by quarter, the Knicks are going to be at that time.
I mean, yeah, it's usually like 4 seconds left on the clock when Brunson gets the ball, and he's,
You also have to remember, last year before the season started, we swung this huge trade for Cat. Completely changed the dynamic of the team, right? They didn't even have a training camp with him. So we spent the whole last year trying to figure out how to play with Cat, right? At the end of the season, we kind of started figuring it out. So now fast forward this season, we finally get a training camp with Cat, and we completely changed the way that we were using him. And it's a brand new system. So it's like they hit the reset button and you're starting back from zero because he's such a big part of what we do. And we're even changing the way we're using Brunson. We completely changed the way we use Brunson too. So it's like now it takes a whole season, man. And so that's kind of why we've been seeing these guys like ebb and flow so much. Because again, it's like they hit the reset button on them. And that's why I'm so against like these swinging these big trades for these big sexy names that everyone wants to get, because continuity goes a long way, man, in this NBA. It really does. If you look at the teams that win, they have been together for a while. The reason San Antonio plays like that is because those guys been together for a while. Even though they're young, they've been together for a while. Same thing with OKC. Same thing with Denver. They might have a few different pieces here and there, but their mainstays have been there for a while. And so we need to like start establishing that and stick to that and stop trying to swing for these big sexy names every 2 years. You know what I mean? Because you're just hitting
I
the
have a good
reset button.
example of that, man, for you.
Yeah.
We used to be really good at giving Mitchell Robinson the lob threat. And then this is like Julius Randle days. And then we went away from it. And we haven't seen much of it at all. And now just in the last couple of games, we've been seeing Mitchell Robinson going up for them lobs again. I'm telling you, in the playoffs, that Mitchell Robinson action, when he gets in the pick and roll and he dives, if he dives hard enough and he gets that lob, he's scoring that every single time.
Even if he doesn't get the lob, he has gravity. So they're glued to him. So he opens things up. Yeah.
He's still pulling them, and then it gives us open shots in the corners. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, we should be running these actions more. Like, our team is so much better than I think people realize. It's because they haven't really even seen us yet. Like the Detroit Piston fans, man, like they've been like talking all this smack about, we beat you 3 times this season. I'm like, you guys haven't even seen us yet. Like, do you guys know what's about to happen this playoffs?
Boston beat us all year last year and got smoked in the playoffs. So.
Exactly.
The craziest thing is, aren't we top 5 in offensive net rating and defensive net rating now, or something like that? Definitely top 10 in both. We're legit top 5 in net rating overall. And does it feel like we've been dominant? Because that's dominant. Like, I don't feel like we've been dominant at all. So it's like, yo, we still have another level that we can get to, which is crazy. That gets me excited. When I saw that, I was like, man, this whole time I've been thinking like we're not a championship contender. I've been saying it. I'm like, yo, I don't think we are. And then I saw that stat that we're top 5 in net rating in defense and offense. And I'm just like, holy crap, maybe we are good. I'm like, it doesn't feel like we're that good, but maybe we are good. And that means we still have another level that we can get to. And that's scary for the rest of the NBA if we can get to that level.
Yeah. All right. So before we go into that, I want us to crack into this next pour because we still got 3 to crack through before this episode's done. So we gotta have one. Shout out to Carbon Intellect. I'll just answer real quick. He said, do y'all think Cat is off the trade block? Being off the trade block helped his mental? Yeah, for sure. And I also think that, like, besides that, just him finding his own way also helped. You know, like him realizing that he didn't have to figure out how to fix what was broken, but to lean into what he could do and realize that we appreciate that. I think that helped him a lot too, finding some confidence in the fact that we all appreciate where he's currently at. So the next one, all right, I'm gonna let Apollo pick this one. We're either gonna go with the bourbon whiskey finished in harvested charred oak staves or the single malt ASW 8-year.
Go to that first one. Which one is that?
The green egg. Green egg.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that sounded. Can you tell the story behind that? I remember you told me, but I forgot it. That was a cool story.
It was kind of crazy because I was in Atlanta visiting my guy Wit, and it's funny because Wit used to do hip hop, and I used to do hip hop, and I toured through, I think, Nashville or Chattanooga at the time where he was living. And he came to my shows. He like opened one of them. And so he knew me from that. And then when we both got big into the whiskey scene, he started distilling for ASW and I started creating whiskey content. He like hit me up and he's like, yo, are you this Phil? And I was like, yeah. And so like we connected and he had me out and I started seeing all these signs for Big Green Egg. And you all will know that logo. It's that giant like smoker company. And I was like, what is all this Big Green Egg stuff like around here? And he was like, oh, we're actually in the process right now of doing a collaboration with them, with the iconic grill Big Green Egg. And instead of like, you know, it just being, oh, they partnered with us, they actually like harvested some Georgia white oak staves and smoked them through a Big Green Egg cooker. So some of the staves that went like and white oak is like very unique. So some of the white oak that was used for aging actually spent time cooking in a big green egg. So it went through the whole smoker process to bring that authentic smoker taste into the big green egg collabs. And so I was like, bro, I need to like taste this. And he's like, let's go. He took me into the distillery and, you know, took out the Whiskey Thief, which is this big, long, giant, like wooden little like funnel piece. Not even what like it can be wooden, can be other types. And you drill a little like thing in the barrel, or you pop up the top and you stick it in with your finger, closing the top so that the air like will keep the whiskey in when you bring it out, and then just pour it straight from the barrel so you get the char and everything that's in there. And he let me taste it. I was like, bro, this is incredible. And so he sent me a bottle immediately when that happened. And then when we were doing the show, he's like, yeah, let's highlight the big green egg as well. So he sent this one over. So this one is really, really unique. Like I said earlier, they are the kind of brand that they get an idea and they're going to try it. You know, they're going to put their eggs in that basket because they believe their idea is going to work. So this one comes in at 120.8 proof. And the years on this one, so this is a 45% wheated mash bill. And I don't see anything for the years on it. Yeah, so not sure about the years on this one. See if I can find out what year it is on their website. But let's give this one a pour next because I love this one, and I think you guys will as well. If you haven't, clear your palate.
So when I left earlier, I had to go get some water so that I can rinse out my glass.
Yeah.
Last week we got chewed out for not doing that.
Kimmy.
Oh yeah, that's the number one sin of bar backing, man. You don't clean the bar.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Man.
Even the glasses too.
Using the same glass.
So it looks like what is the year? Yeah, it doesn't say anything about the year on this one. So all right, let's just give it a shot.
Oh wow.
Like on the nose, it's absolutely incredible.
This is definitely different. I'm trying to understand what this different note is that I'm getting. This has a different note, a very unique note. Has to come from the egg thing, that whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Yep. All right, who wants to go first?
Not me.
All right, Al. It's on you. What little hints are you getting?
Hold on, let me try again.
That's incredible.
This is so good. Oh my god.
So I'll go. It's very pardon my verbiage, creamy. It's what's the tasting note that I'm getting out of it? It reminds me of like what's like a cookie in a way, like a kind of like a vanilla cookie in a way. It's not a vanilla cookie. It's similar between like a vanilla cookie or like an animal cracker kind of taste. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm kind of getting that note in there, which is weird because I eat graham crackers all the time, but it gives me like a vanilla cookie kind of taste.
Okay.
The note that I'm picking up is it's like at the end. It's towards the finish. But you definitely taste the oak for sure. It has a nice oak taste. I love it. Yep. I like that taste. It's not a bad. Some people don't like a heavy oak taste, but this has a nice oak taste to it. It could be you know what it could be like? It could be like kind of like a hickory almost at the end. That's kind of what I'm tasting at the end. It tastes so nice. I really like it. This is awesome. It's a very complex bourbon. Like, cause that's why I'm like, I don't know what I'm tasting, because it's like I think there's a lot of things going on here. I need to sit with this one for a while to really like dive into all the notes. But this is awesome. This is amazing.
Yeah. So, what you get, that's very different in this one is, yes, you get the oakiness, but what makes it different is those charred staves that were then done in a smoker, because you get the char, but it brings like a smokiness, like a smoked brisket or a smoked pork. You get that tastes different than burn. Like the flavors that come out from smoking are different than if you're grilling something. So you think char grilled burger as opposed to or char grilled wings as opposed to smoked wings. There's going to be a flavor difference. But in here, you're kind of getting both, which is really, really awesome, really, really unique. That smokiness is great. You get like hints of caramel. I'm getting kind of like a nougat, like a vanilla nougat, which is really, really nice, because you get that like that sweetness, but also that like nougat type flavor. On top of that, a little bit of buttercream, but the smokiness is what makes it completely stand out, in my opinion, because I feel like there's other bottles that kind of have a butterscotch, caramel, vanilla flavor to them, but the smokiness of all those things is completely different. It's like an old fashioned. Like an old fashioned is still an old fashioned, but when you smoke it, it tastes different, even though it's the same exact ingredients in it. That smokiness from the wood pellets that you put on top make it completely different.
I want to ask a maybe dumb question. Do you think being at a barbecue would accentuate this bourbon even more?
Oh yeah, for sure. So
right?
So it's like
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I just tasted a burger with it just now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's like anything. It's like what certain pairings are always going to bring out the best flavors. So the other night with my wife, instead of making we have Monday night dinner with two of our friends, Sam and Jesse, that we're staying with right now. And so Jesse cooks, I make cocktails and bring whiskey.
Nice.
Like that's my thing, And so he was making steak, and so I was like, okay, I could, do something this, but instead we decided to do a New York sour, which is a playoff of a whiskey sour, but it adds, after you make the whiskey sour, you add a ½ ounce of red wine on top, so that it still tastes like a whiskey sour, but you get all the flavors from a red wine. So we decided to do that because red wine pairs so beautifully with steak. So even though I'm not a huge red wine fan most of the time, with steak, it's a great pairing. So you made that cocktail and it paired a lot better than a regular whiskey sour would have paired with a steak. It was the perfect accompaniment. So this, being that it's smoky, yes, I feel like it would be great at a barbecue where you're smoking things, where, like imagine a giant, like beef brisket coming out of a smoker. Like this is going to accentuate those flavors even more. So yeah, for sure. So cheers to y'all on this pour. We'll talk a little more and go into another pour because Apollo's got to be done at 10. So we got 2 more pours to do in the next 23 minutes. You know what I mean? All right.
Whew. Dang, it's gonna be tough to top this, man. This is excellent. This is
I really want it with a burger now. Like you really like solidified that in my head. Like I really want a burger.
Hey, how easy is it to find this stuff? I don't know that I've seen it.
I'm gonna put the site up for everybody to check it out. And they do have distribution online. Just depends on what they have currently available. So online retailers, Sealbox. So this one right here, yep, they got the big green egg on there right now for $79.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So I just posted the link in the chat. Boom. All right. So Joe, I want to hear your tips comment. Let's see what you got, bro.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember from the playoffs last year, but game 1 against the Pistons, I made it a point to say we need to make sure that we get Shamit, Delon Wright, and Huck Porty integrated into this lineup because we're going to have a tough series versus this Pistons team. And I knew that we would beat them, but I knew it would take more of our guys. So, rewind here. I don't think the Tibbs really made that adjustment where he was putting Shamit and DeLon Wright into the rotation until it was like, I want to say games 5 of the Pacers series. So third round in the playoffs, he finally made the adjustment. And honestly, man, like I was jumping up and down. I was getting on Knicks Fan TV. I was getting in that call and I was saying, yo, we need to put these guys in. Like Shamit can help us. Like Shamit is a threat. Like he's going to stretch the floor. He can hit threes. Like it'll make a difference.
Mhm.
And I just think it was to Tibbs' detriment, not being like more willing to play some of the other guys in the rotation or in the lineup.
He didn't
Yeah.
adjust.
Yeah.
So,
That was always Tibbs' downfall. Like I truly think that if Tibbs still had Johnny Bryant last season, which was the one guy that he was willing to actually talk to and listen to on the sidelines, I think we might have gone to the finals, to be honest. I really think that, like, you look at how Mike
I agree
Brown
with that.
how Mike Brown incorporates different assistants and gives people the credit where it's due. Like there was that one game where he said, "Yeah, we ran the offense through Cat because Rick came up to me and said, 'Hey, I really think that this would give us the upper hand. Why don't we try this?'" And he tried it and gave all praise and glory to Rick Brunson. I think if Tibbs would have done something like that, there would have been a possibility that we were in the finals last year.
Mhm.
But Tibbs, to his detriment, didn't really listen to many people, and he also didn't explore. Like there was a very limited exploration. It was like if real exploring is over here, like it was like Moana in the first 20 minutes of the movie, like where she could dip her feet in the water, but she couldn't go anywhere in the ocean. Like that was Tibbs. Like he felt like exploration was that he walked into the water, but like everyone's like, "What are you talking about? Like there's so much out there." And he's
Mhm.
like, "I tried something." It's like you didn't try much. Like your feet are wet, but that's it. Like you're not even swimming. Your bathing suit is still dry. What are you talking about? And so I think that was Tibbs's detriment for sure. I think what is going to set us apart differently in the playoffs this year is that first, Mike Brown is down for exploration, but also it's not that exploring two guys off the bench more defensive because they are our defenders. It is like the big thing that's going to change things for us because if you look, if Miles McBride comes back off the bench, we have multiple great defenders.
Most important thing that happened this week,
Yep. So
taking contact.
is what?
Him taking contact.
Yeah.
That's the biggest news of the week.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so you got to look besides Jordan Clarkson. Let's go down the list of actual players that are getting minutes and that will get minutes in the playoffs and see if they are defensive helps. Jose Alvarado. Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson for sure.
For sure.
Diawara. Yes. Sohan, yes. McBride, yes. Shamit, yes. Those are the guys that you're going to see off the bench. So now it's not, oh, do you think that he'll play one of those guys that can shoot and play defense off the bench? Like, no, any of those guys that come in can shoot and play defense off the bench. So that's a huge plus for us, is that our roster is actually bolstered from what it was last year when it comes to the bench. And so at any given point, you can switch up the lineup and you're not having a fall off defensively. Like, let's say we do make that change where Clarkson goes into the starting lineup. And I agree. It's not about the first quarter because the first quarter is where we're struggling to score. So you put Clarkson in the starting lineup, helps him score. but you have Mikhail coming in the fourth quarter where we hopefully
Closing out
have
the
a
games.
lead already. His defense is going to keep that lead for us,
Absolutely.
and we don't have to worry about the fact that he's not scoring because we're not trying to come back from a deficit of the first half. We already have the ahead, on the scoreboard. Now our defenders are just making sure that we don't let that scoreboard slip. So I think that is important. I would not put Clarkson in the fourth as opposed to the first. I would put him to start, get those points off the bat so that he's already lit up and sparked, so that if he has scattered minutes in the second and the third, he's already torching people, and then that's just bonus. And then Mikhail locks everything down in the fourth to make sure that we don't lose that lead. So
Well, yeah,
I want to say.
Go ahead,
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Let me just be real quick. I was just gonna ask, where do you feel like Sohan fits in all this? Do you feel like he still has a role?
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's
like
situational.
He's situational, especially against teams like Detroit, where all their guys are big. Like that's where we need not just a defender, but a defender that has height and can be physical, because Detroit's physical, as much as I love Shamit and as much as I love McBride, their height and Alvarado, their height and like not so much Alvarado, because Alvarado will take a beating to play defense, but a lot of times
he can't stop Cade.
Yeah, he can't stop Cade, and so having to be able to go, okay, in these minutes, Mikhail can focus on Cade, or OG can focus on Cade, because we have Sohan, who's big enough to then go up against Tobias Harris.
Exactly.
You don't have a fall off in the defensive scheme of things. So I think that Sohan was brought in for moments like that. Like he was brought in for the Pistons. He was brought in for the Cavaliers when they have Mobley and Allen both on the court, and we don't have the double big going on at that moment. I think those are the reasons that we brought him in. So yes, he's situational, but it's definitely like incremental, because if we do play teams like OKC and San Antonio in the Spurs, we need someone that's got some height that can be physical, because even in moments of, let's say, Cat having a hard time guarding Wembanyama, okay, we still need defense, but we don't want fouls happening to our main guys that we need in the fourth quarter. Sohan can go out there and be defensive and physical. He gets a foul, so be it. Like, he's not playing in the fourth quarter, so be it. It matters that Mitch and Cat are there in the fourth quarter, so Sohan is situational in games like that.
What I was going to say is I think Mike Brown has done a good job of experimenting this year with a lot of different lineups. I think he's doing, in these last stretch of games, he's been doing a good job of giving guys a day off, right? Like giving Josh Hart a day off, making sure like guys, when we go into the playoffs, guys are healthy and 100, as close to 100% as possible and ready to go for this stretch, right? What I want to see, and maybe I haven't been paying enough attention to this, and this will be my challenge to you, Apollo and Phil, as we move, and even you too, Joe, as we go through the rest of these games, is I want to see him try. I want to see him try different starting lineups, but even if he doesn't do the starting lineups, right? I want to see him try, like, for instance, like Clarkson with the starters. He doesn't have to start, but like
something, right?
Like pay attention, like if he's putting Clarkson with the starters in the third quarter or something like that. You know what I mean? I want to see him try those different things, because those are the things that could show up in the playoffs. And I don't know that I've seen him doing that. Like, I think his focus in these last stretch of games that we've seen has been giving guys a day off, right? But not so much tinkering with lineups and stuff. So I want to see him do a little bit more of that in these last like 13 or whatever games we have left. That's what I'm looking for.
versus the Sixers, I don't know if you guys noticed. I mean, I always like to kind of watch and just see if I could pick on something just to bring it up for spark conversation.
Yeah.
But after the Sixers series, I saw Maxey go up to Sohan and just give him a lot of respect. Like I see Sohan get a lot of respect from some of these top players in the league. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, why do all these top players like give Sohan all this? Like they just respect him. Like they ask him, like, oh, like why didn't you play? He's like, oh, I don't know. Like Maxey asked him why he didn't play versus him, like why he sat. And Sohan just kind of puts his hands up in the air. My question to the panel is, do we have more in Sohan than we know? Is Sohan actually a legit piece that we can use?
So here's the thing about Sohan. I think the reason Sohan gets so much respect is because the type of player he is not this era's NBA. Okay. And yet he's still the highest quality that you can look for in a player is someone that's ready in and out of season. You know, like whether they're getting a ton of minutes or if they're being pulled in for 2 minutes, you know, of crucial time. The fact that he's going to give you the same production, whether you like played him all game or if you play him for 2 minutes that he's needed, he's going to have that same thing. Like he's going to be able to fall completely in line. He doesn't need to find rhythm. He doesn't need to, oh, you haven't played him, so he wasn't productive. Like he's not that kind of guy. His skill sets that he does in excellence can come in at any time and help your team with what they need. And I think that that's respectable for people. You look at with San Antonio. San Antonio went a complete different direction than when they drafted him. So he wasn't even playing. You know, he was getting peas. He came over here, and the first few minutes he got as a Knick, he was productive defensively. You know, like that says a lot about the character of that player and them knowing what they bring to the table. So I think people respect that because they can see that. You know, they can see that. They can see that, like, this is the kind of guy that doesn't need 7 minutes to boil water for it to actually like start bubbling. You know, the water's ready as soon as it hits the oven when it comes to Sohan. And so I think that I don't think that we have more than what Sohan has shown us. I think what he's shown us is what we brought him here for. And that's the cool thing. If there is more to his ceiling, then it's just a benefit. You know, it's a surprise and delight kind of situation. But Sohan being what we thought Sohan was is enough for what we need in the playoffs. Like that's what he was brought in here for, is those crucial 5 to 10 minutes where it can truly change a game because of his aggressiveness.
Yeah, I think Sohan got his shot. I think Mike Brown gave him a fair chance, but I think he's a player. So and I think he didn't show enough to warrant more minutes, right? So I think he's where he needs to be, but he is a player that understands the assignment, right? And so if we're in a dogfight in the playoffs and you tell him, yo, go chin check Cade in his chin real quick because he acting up, he's going to go do that. And you need those kind of players, man. You need them, man. You need them. He's like a little bootleg Draymond Green that's going to be like, yo, go over there and give him a wedgie. You know what I mean? Like, don't stop letting him get away with that. You know what I mean? Like he understands the assignment, and we could put him in and do that. And you need that kind of stuff because this team lacks toughness.
Yeah,
and he brings that. So
yeah,
I'm interested in seeing where Mike Brown deploys him. It's going to be interesting in the playoffs.
So I'll say this before we go into the next pour. I agree with you. You know, like when he got there, Mike Brown was very clear. Like Diawara has been playing well, but we got to see what we have in Sohan, you know? And so I think that it's not necessarily a Sohan didn't like arrive to what we needed him, but the way that our roster is constructed, we already have like, you know, not a Diawara. We already have a Mitchell Robinson. who we're not expecting a ton from offensively. We're just having him there defensively. We have a few guys on our, lineup that we're not expecting leaps and bounds offensively. They're there to be defensive anchors. So adding another defensive anchor who can't give you the offense that's more than what the other guys can do limits the minutes that he's going to get. But what he does well. And I think that those are going to be crucial minutes, like we said. So let's go into the next.
Can I just say one more thing until you go to the next four?
Yeah.
Do you think Tibbs trusted Jericho Sims more than Mike Brown trusts Sohan?
No. Because you look at it, Jericho Sims, like, if Jericho Sims got more trust in his first week as a Milwaukee Buck than he did his time as a New York Knick. The problem with Tibbs was he only used Jericho Sims really when Hartenstein and Mitch weren't both available. Like anytime Jericho Sims showed promise in one game, it was like Obi Toppin showing promise in one game. It was like, oh my goodness, look what they could do. And then they're benched for like 4 games in a row. And you're like, wait, what just happened here? Like he just did all this stuff and we're all talking about what he could be. And now he's benched for 4 games. So no, I think Tibbs only really used players like Sims and Toppin when he needed them out of necessity, not out of really believing in them. So, all right. So
he already put Sohan on Cade the last time we played them. So
yep.
Oh yeah, he did great. He did great against Cade, bro. He did great against Cade.
You would have never seen Jericho be put on Jokic.
Yeah, right.
Never. Never.
All right, Al, I'm gonna let you pick. I know which I'd choose based off of like what the bottle says, but we can either go with the ASW single malt 8-year, or we can go with the bourbon whiskey finished in rum, port, Amberana, and whiskey and maple syrup casks.
All right, so I looked up the cigar batch, and oh man, that looks fantastic. So I'm thinking, should I save that for last, or should I think no? Let's just do it now. Let's go with the cigar one.
I got 5 minutes. So let's do the cigar.
Yeah, let's do the best one for you. Let's go.
I was gonna save it for last because
it looks.
You already had one with maple influence, but I'll let you pick. So let's do it. All right, let's go. We're gonna actually do both in the next 6 minutes.
But the interesting thing, let me give some, since I'm on the page, I'm gonna give you some like info on it.
Yeah.
And so tell me if I'm reading the wrong thing, but this is age 7 years, 9 months. The mash bill is 51% corn, 45% wheat, 4% barley. The crazy part that really like struck me is that it has multiple finishing casks.
Yep.
So it was finished in Jamaican rum cask for 5 months. Jamaica.
Yep.
Big up. Respect. Man, it was finished in May. It was finished in May. It was finished in maple syrup cask for 3 months, in tawny port cask. I love ports. And for 12 months in white port, which I don't know what that is, white port cask for 6 months, and then an Amberana for 5 days. I didn't even know that 5 days is a time frame that you could finish stuff in. Like, does that even capture any of the taste?
It does.
But
it does.
That is a lot of different finishes, man. That is awesome.
Amberana is something that has a lot of flavor. So you never want to like exceed way too much time. Like if you do 6 months in an Amberana cask, it's going to taste solely like Amberana. So white port is a fortified wine from Portugal. And some of my favorite wine finished whiskeys, like the Starlight White Port, is absolutely incredible, like delicious. So I love this one. So yes, a lot of what you read, well, most of what you read, is exactly spot on. This is their batch 25, cask strength, rum, port, maple, Amberana, influenced barrel, and it's absolutely delicious. So let's go straight into it.
The only thing I didn't say is the ABV. I didn't say the ABV.
Oh yeah, the ABV on this one is 118.
Okay.
So straight off the bat, you smell the maple and cinnamon on the nose.
Smell that cinnamon.
I,
For sure.
I know I'm gonna taste the rum. I bet I'm Dominican. I gotta taste the rum. Yeah.
That is so
Oh, the
good.
rum is there. The rum and the port, so good.
Yep.
Oh, this is done amazing. This is well done. This is
Yeah.
my favorite pour of the night. This is my favorite pour of the night. Incredible, incredible, man. And remember when? Oh, how Phil? I was just hanging out with you on Friday, and I said to you, the cigar blends that I like, and you didn't mention this one, and this is
Because
like
we were having it tonight, bro. I wasn't wasting it.
You should have been like, yo, hold on before you make your list, because I was making my top 3. You should have been like, hold on, we got one that you
I didn't want you to taste it. I wanted you to
this
taste
is
it here on
incredible. Oh,
Yep.
this is up there. This
Yep.
is up there for sure.
Wow.
This is
Yep.
nice.
All right.
What do you think?
What
What do you
flavor
think,
are you
Apollo?
guys getting out of it?
So like you did mention the cinnamon already. And so of course that dominates right now. But I'm also getting like a cream candy kind of taste. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a root beer float kind of taste. You know what I mean? It's weird. It gives me like a good like a butter cookie kind of taste in a way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or butterscotch, a butter cookie. Either way, the same kind of flavor in there. I can definitely get that, but for sure, since I'll definitely mention that because I wouldn't have thought of it, but I definitely can taste the Jamaican rum in there.
Yep. All right. What are your thoughts, bro?
Oh, this is amazing. I give this a solid 8.5, 9. I taste the rum. I love rum. I was trying to think what's the other thing that I taste in here. Hold on. Yeah, I think all these ASWs have a lot of what was the note that you just mentioned? The note not toffee. Why is toffee coming into my head? Butterscotch. They all have the butterscotch note. Mm-hmm. It's like different distilleries have different notes. Like for me, every time I taste something from Buffalo Trace, I taste a lot of grape. Okay. Every time you taste something from like Jack Daniels, you usually get a lot of banana bread, right? Banana. And with ASW today, like I've been just getting a lot of that butterscotch today.
Okay. All right. So for me, I get that cinnamon. I get, the maple, the rum. But a huge thing I'm getting is blackberry, like mixed in all that blackberries.
Wow.
Like blackberry jam, like is, so take a sip of it and just think of blackberries. Like it's got straight up berry. Like it is.
That's crazy. Wow.
Like there's such a fruity note to it that is just which accentuates the others, because the reason this tastes nothing like the first one we tasted was because it was solely the maple and the caramel and the cinnamon, but this has that sweetness that accentuates all those other flavors, and it's absolutely delicious.
Do you get the blackberry like at the end on the back palate?
No, I get it from the start.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm tasting it a lot at the end, and a lot of the flavors.
It lasts. Here's the thing.
Yeah, it lasts.
The difference is a lot of those other ones fall after the middle. The ones that last is like, so if I was to describe the finish is a maple syrup pancake with blackberries on top.
Yes.
Those are the two flavors that last. Everything else falls off, but the two that stay in your mouth are blackberries on a maple syrup on a pancake. Like
Yeah.
that's the finished product.
I think like a mistake that I make like when I'm tasting bourbons is like I'm really attentive to like how it's tasting as I'm starting to taste it, and then I forget about continuing to taste it on the finish because I feel like on the finish I get a lot of different notes that I didn't pick up at the beginning, and once I'm finishing the drink, I just like forget about figuring out and thinking about what I'm tasting. So that's something I gotta like pay more attention to.
Yeah. So what I'll say is, just like the Knicks need to play 4 quarters of basketball, you got to take. You got to go through. There's nose, there's palate, and there's finish.
You got to start that first quarter, man. Got to watch that first quarter.
Because
I'm good in the first quarter. I got the opposite of the Knicks problem.
Because
The opposite.
here's the thing: you never want to spend good money on a whiskey that, as soon as you taste it, it's gone. Because
No, yeah,
it's
I've had that.
so
That's
quick
bad.
that it's like, oh my goodness, like I still
Yeah.
have the alcohol taste in my mouth, but I don't have any of the delicious flavors
Yeah.
that I tasted. They all
Or it
fell
just
off.
tastes like water at the end. It's just
Exactly.
like, oh, that was
Exactly.
watery. That's not good.
All right.
Yeah.
So before Apollo goes, we're going straight into the next one. Let's go.
Oh, crap.
On to the next. On to
I
the
wish
next.
I had another. I'm gonna
Apollo.
drink this out.
Here's the thing. Al is like straight up pouring the whole sample instead of like portions of the sample.
No,
Me,
no,
I'm
no.
doing-
I'm not. I'm saving this one now, the cigar one, and
Okay.
I'm gonna drink
like
straight out of
me, I'm
this one
doing like
now.
an ounce of each, but I gave you each like 2 to 3 ounce samples. Al's just like,
I was doing that at first. I think when we first started this, like over a year and a half ago, I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, goo, 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 goo."
yeah.
And then I'm like, "Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get through this segment."
Nobody told me today was gonna be turbo time. I didn't know. I didn't know.
This is the flight night, Papa. You know, it's 4 on a flight night.
Oh, Papa.
All right.
Hey, I'm on paternity leave, so I don't got to work tomorrow. I'm good. I'm good.
All right. So this is a single
Congrats,
malt,
by the way, my guy. Congrats, man.
8-year.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
This is the highest proof that we're going to drink tonight. This is
Oh,
a
crap.
132 proof. All right.
All right, all
So-
right, all right, all right.
On the
All
single
right.
malt? I didn't
Yep.
expect that on the single malt.
All right,
Yep.
so I'm not gonna lie. I used to drink Bacardi 151 a lot, so I can't really complain. But that was literally just a flame that I was drinking. So
Wait, I
Here's
have
the thing.
questions. I have
Bacardi
questions about
151
this.
tastes like booty and fire. All right.
Yo,
That has
Phil,
great
I have,
on it too on the
Phil,
tip,
I
so
have
you don't
so
drink
many
that much.
questions. Are single malts typically this high proof?
They can be. Yeah, they definitely can be.
All
Yep.
right, let's check it out. Let's check it out.
All right.
Definitely smells like a single malt.
it sneaks. I can tell it's gonna sneak up on you because
Here's the
it
thing
doesn't
about
smell
single malts. With single malts, a lot of times they drink under their proof. Okay.
Hmm.
okay.
So like a lot of other whiskeys, you know, like if it's a, you know, hazmat, you know, like for anything else, you're just like, oh my goodness, I can taste that. You know, like I feel it. Single malts don't really do that, you know, because of all the other kind of like sweetnesses and stuff like that you get from a single malt.
Mhm.
So I don't think you'll feel it as much. So this
Right.
is an 8-year. This is actually a bottle that was really special that they sent over to us. It was one that you could only get. I don't think they have it anywhere online. You can only get it if you went to their 9-year anniversary party as a distillery. And so he, you know, sent us over a bottle and was like, hey, you know, I want you guys to be able to enjoy this. So shout out to Wit for that special delivery. All right, let's go straight into it.
On the nose, I smell a lot of apple.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of apple. And
Smells
I've
like
kind of been tasting apple on all of these pours a little bit. I don't know what's going on with my palate today. But yeah, I've been tasting apple.
so I get like apple cinnamon Cheerios with honey on the nose.
Definitely a lot of cinnamon on the taste. Oh,
All right, let's go for the taste.
Hmm.
oh, I just got like some grape.
Mm. Wow.
Oh, this is really good.
It's been a while since I tasted this one.
Holy crap! This really surprised me.
Hold on.
Yeah, I actually get grape or peach. Maybe
you
that's
go.
that Atlanta, Georgia peach coming through.
Getting that stone fruit. Yeah, I was definitely getting a
Yeah.
stone fruit.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is the fruitiest one we've had.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially
And you
for
gotta-
a high 132. That's good.
Yeah, it drinks way under that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
way
said.
under.
You know, like they typically don't drink in a spicy high fruit, like a high proof type of vibe. It's like if I was to compare single malts to anything, they're similar to Scotch. Scotch usually doesn't have a lot of burn, and
Yeah,
single
that's
malts
what,
don't either. So
Yo, I'm changing what I said, and I think this is the best pour of the night. This beats
Really?
to me. This is better than the cigar. Yeah, this is awesome. This is incredible. I
So-
really like this.
So what are some of the notes you guys are coming down with? It's a very complex one. I'll say that.
Well, it's super complex.
So
there's some smokiness in there too. There's some smokiness. This is very fruity though. I think this is the fruitiest one that we've had.
By far.
Very surprising. Yeah. Very
So
nice.
single malts do have a lot of fruit. Like single malts are known for their fruity flavors. Like if you research like single malts, they're known for their like citrus. They're known for their apple.
I taste apple and peach.
Okay.
That's what I taste.
I was gonna say
apple and
I was
peach.
gonna say plum. Like I'm getting a plum kind of taste. Definitely getting plum. That's weird.
And it's not because everyone's palate is completely different. You know, at the end of the day, that's just
It
what
all depends on like what you ate that day and all that stuff too. Like
Yeah,
I could
that's-
drink something today and tomorrow I could drink it and it'll taste very different.
Yeah.
Like the other
And here's
day
the
I had
thing.
a cigar, I had a drink, and then I had a cigar, and then I went back to the drink, and the drink tasted completely different.
I got
Yeah.
it. I got it. This so at this place called Famous Toastery. I don't know if you ever heard of it, Phil, out here.
Okay. No, I haven't.
It's like a breakfast kind of place. They
Okay.
have something on the menu called candied bacon. It's like a sweet
Okay,
bacon, like a
Yep.
caramelized kind of bacon. It gives me like a lot of that kind of taste. It's weird.
Okay.
It gives me
No.
like a sweet bacon kind of taste.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know what
Eh,
because the first thing I kept thinking is breakfast. I'm like, why do I keep thinking of breakfast? Like, I don't know why I'm thinking of breakfast. But at first when you mentioned the stone fruit, when you said peach, I was getting plum. But then I'm like, why am I thinking breakfast? Like I still thinking breakfast. And then that's the familiarity I had was the candied bacon. That's good. That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, no, and like I said, like it's not necessarily what fruit you guys are picking up, but the fact that you're saying this is the most fruity, that just shows that your palates are understanding what's happening. Because single
Yeah.
malts are typically known for people finding a fruitiness to it. So for me, I'm getting like a bit of the wood, but also like a honeyed fruit, like fruit dipped in honey. And so I love cheese boards, but I love even more so like fruit boards with honey. Like if
Yeah,
there's a
I'm
piece of
getting the
fruit
honey
that
now.
I can dip in honey, whether it's an apple or a strawberry or anything, it's always better with honey. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm getting fruit that's dipped in honey, and it's just absolutely delicious. Like it's a very and it's crazy because like it's not a super like creamy taste in your mouth. Like it doesn't leave your mouth creamy. It's a little bit dry. But the sweetness is absolutely there, but it's not overpowering, which is absolutely delicious. So I love it. I love it. Been a while since I've been in Famous Toastery. Is that what it's
Wait,
called?
so
three.
Yeah, famous those three.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Phil, which one is your favorite of the ones that we drank today?
Oh man, it's hard. So for me, I'm gonna say that it's gonna be a tie between the 8-year and the and the cigar batch. Like those two, I think would be tied.
What's the 8-year? The one that we just had?
Yeah, the single malt.
Single malt. This single malt is fantastic. Holy crap! I felt like I don't know if sometimes when you have like low expectations for things, like it, makes you appreciate them more. But this was really good. I think this is the best pour we had tonight.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I think my favorite. I really like the green egg.
Yeah, that one's incredible too.
The green egg was cool. It's just novel.
I really like the green egg, but it might be a tie with the single malt. It might be a tie with the single malt.
Yeah, you like the single malt too?
I like the single malt for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's very diverse. So before we leave and before we let Apollo leave, like we will close after Apollo goes, but we're gonna like play a little bit of this Apollo song because
I gotta hear this.
All right. So here we go. This is
Appreciate
what kind of song is this? Is this like a all right? It sounds like it might be like a love song, a love rap song.
It's not love. It's more like a family vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. It's more explaining the core of like who I am at this version of my life, and instead of just like the earlier version. You know what I mean? The father version. But with bars. Throw some bars.
Yeah. Nah, I just wanted to know the context. That's good to know. All right, play that. Let's go.
All right, here we go. And
this
real
is my
quick,
first time hearing it.
Shout out to my guy Carbon Intellect. Love as always.
Always love.
Appreciate you so much, man. Like,
I've known him since like middle school, yo. That's my guy for sure.
Yeah, he's seriously an amazing supporter of what we do, and we can't appreciate it enough. So here we go. This is my guy Apollo Reed. What? Come on, I already did this. It's ridiculous. Sign
Pay
in.
me.
Are you serious? I even got to go and like get my code.
I need those streams. I need those streams, man.
Boom. All right. Boost those streams for Apollo Reed. Here we go.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
It's just different. All I need is my kids and wifey in vacation spots. Expensive ass chandeliers hanging over the tabletops. California King need a few nights to break it in. We back in my hometown, bet we making stops, hit the Jamaican spot. See what them oxtails is hitting for. See what you talking about. Like Gary Coleman back on different strokes. Hit up the arena, the ball. My niggas on they Kanye shit. Talk to my kids like back in my day shit. We was outside till the moon came up on some Bruce Wayne shit. But I was born in the shadows on my pain shit. That lame shit ain't for me. I got some kids to feed. Can't let my drive fade away like it's plagued with dystrophy. Take a listen, you will see this ain't your average. Confidence on 100,000, hopefully you can manage. Puffing on Bruce Banner, call him masseuse, damn it. My shoulders is bruised badly from carrying bad habits and confidence low. Sadly for everybody else, that ship is hell. And it's high tide, cut that connection. Shit don't even come up on my Wi-Fi. It's my time scrolling, but I ain't talking about no timelines, huh? So many clouds that you mistake it for the skylines. Hit my line, have you taken it back like sipping my ties at roof parties and group parties? My bars up like Harley. Now we sipping on Jameson. Took some more shots like the legend from Davidson. Don't you play with son. Self-made legend, no entertainment from a lame team. Struggle to struggle, niggas probably would do the same thing. Shit after the money like I'm Keekly. I leave it laid out. I'm running the defense, I'm seeing Nate routes. I need to take vacations often. Some different sand to walk in. The way I shake and move, they say he's an outstanding orphan. So tell your story walking. Run for your brother, your mother, until you feel endorphins. Giving you feelings of happiness. Go chase more. Someone's lost this year, it just make me embrace more. Now I can make a case for those with PTSD. Struggle behind your surface, but still hit the street with them sneaks. Shout out to backpackers. Y'all call them nerds, but they respond with laughter. Y'all can see the shift in them plans after. I'm the new mad rapper, giving me few and you and your man chatter.
Y'all two mixed together is a bad batter, but I can't let it deter my direction. Already ignoring the struggles that come with complexion. Already aware of the numbness that come with obsession. Double bag that depression aiming at your snapback. You niggas can have that. I keep it cooler than ice. Mix this food with the spices. I'm walking cooler than Spike. But got the glare like I'm Tyson. I turn around like I'm Ike. Snake eyes like I'm Dyson. I'm on the moon like I'm Mike. I keep the L like a license. You understand me, homie? Time to pay up and then respect y'all owe me. Hit double entendres looking like they clone me. You was bucking, hold these achievements for me. Nobody, yo, on my shoulder breathing on me. Get Tempur-Pedic when niggas sleeping on me. Self-made legend, no entertainment from a lame team. Struggle to struggle, niggas probably will do the same thing. Shit after the money like I'm Keekly. I leave it laid out, running the defense. All that I need is my brothers riding with me. Life be throwing jabs, so every time I vibe they with me. Believe it or not, I rip these beats. Now come on, lift these sheets. You smile and said lift these cheeks, let's vibe. To keep it real, I be tired. Everybody talking and talk, but they just living a lie. But they energy though, y'all ain't feeling me though. A lot of niggas is Denzel if you just give them a roll. Play that
All right. So what I gotta say is, I've heard this song. All right,
You definitely have.
Apollo sent this to me a while ago. The song is still fire. The only difference is if Apollo wrote this song right now, you better be sure that fool better not put Jameson as what he's drinking.
Word.
That's definitely a fact. That's definitely a fact.
That's
That's definitely a fact.
That's how you know
I
he
would
wrote
never
this a little
put
bit
Jameson
ago.
in my cup now, man. Never.
Yo, I wanted to ask you, do you like, are you a Freddie Gibbs fan? You like Freddie Gibbs? You reminded me of Freddie Gibbs a little bit.
I highly respect Freddie
in
Gibbs.
the way that you structured the song, because there was no chorus, right? Like some of his songs don't really have like a chorus,
right? Yeah.
And so that's what made me think of Freddie Gibbs. Like you was just going.
I definitely It's funny because I didn't really start listening to Freddie Gibbs until like the last like 2 years. And
I didn't start listening to Freddie Gibbs until last year. Until the last album that he dropped.
Yep.
And then I went off a deep end and started listening to him, and I was like, "Oh, this dude is actually super nice.
Good. He's really good.
Yeah, he's nice. He's nice.
Salute
Yeah, he's super
Appreciate
nice.
Appreciate that.
All right, all right.
Good too, man. I thought you sounded like Joey Badass. You ever heard Joey Badass?
I like that. I like that.
Honestly,
nice
the way it's coming out, it just sounds good, man. Like it sounds right up there with him. Honestly, like you just got to keep going, man.
Yeah, that was dope. That song was fire.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
Appreciate you, Joe. For real.
So my favorite part, honestly, is the switch ups of the beat.
Yeah, the beat is sick. Who did the beat? Plug in whoever did the beat, bro.
It's I forgot his name. Oh my god.
Or did you just get it from somebody like on the net?
No, his name is Epic the Dawn. I've used a lot of his beats and his production over like the time of me making music.
Yeah.
But his name is
Epic the Dawn. That J. Cole beat. You ever hear that a lot beat? You ever hear that a lot beat?
Yeah.
In the background, it kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah. So I like the names y'all bringing up today. I like the names you guys are bringing up.
One of my favorite nights was the first time me and Apollo, we had been doing shows together. We had been, he had been on my show. I had been on his, but we finally connected in person, and we hung out at a cigar spot. We had a cigar, we had some drinks, and then we went into my car and we just played music, like music of mine, music of his. And we just spent probably more time in the car listening to each other's music than we did like in the cigar bar. And it was a classic night. Like seriously, it was one of my favorite nights as, a Knicks content creator. Was just connecting with him and being able to like show each other what we've done, what we're working on, what we want to do, and be able to talk about that. So I love seeing that, like, because one thing I told him, that was like a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years ago. And I was like, bro, why are you sleeping on these? Like, at least my stuff is just that I haven't recorded it. Like it's all written, but it's recorded. Yours is recorded. You need to put that stuff out. And I'm pretty sure I heard this song then. So, for me, it's exciting to see Apollo actually like putting his stuff out on other platforms for people to see and be able to like just showcase his love for his family and what he's doing there. Because at the end of the day, that's what fuels all of us is,
Listen,
we love the Knicks, but our family comes first.
we went through as a hip hop enthusiast, because I used to manage a hip hop artist, my boy Mr. Crisis. As a hip hop enthusiast, I think we saw a lot of years of like that mumble rap and all this nonsense kind of rap. But 2025,
yeah,
I feel like I saw the real hip hop come back.
Facts.
With like all these albums that came out with like what do you call it? What's the Clips album that came out? Freddie Gibbs album. There was a lot of different Ghostface, like Nas album,
Conway
Premier, like
album.
Conway. DJ Premier did a good album with with another dude from New York. Really good album. I love his album. I'm so mad I'm forgetting his name. Anyways,
yeah.
But I feel like we saw real hip hop come back again, man.
Yep.
And so like that sounded to me like real hip hop. Yeah. And like we need to, and now we have this Jay-Z announcement that Jay-Z's coming out and he's doing 2 shows at Yankee Stadium. And it makes me think that maybe Jay-Z's coming out with with an album now, because like, and maybe you're not a Jay-Z fan. I love Jay-Z.
I'm a Jay-Z fan.
I'm a Jay-Z fan. Yeah.
But that makes me think that he saw like this, what happened in 2025 with the like
shift,
real hip hop coming back alive, and he's like, oh, now I could drop an album, because he's not gonna drop no candy rap album. He's gonna drop like a real rap album. You know what I mean? So that makes him think like he could drop, and then maybe we'll get some new Jay-Z music. I'm sorry, go ahead, Phil. What were you gonna say?
No, like I was a huge Jay-Z fan. But I think that like when it comes to Jay-Z, that there was a huge shift in Jay-Z, like a huge fall off in Jay-Z's career. And I don't think Jay-Z putting out an album now is going to be anything incredible. Like for me, like back in the day,
hope. Just like you can hope the Knicks are going to win a championship.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. After he put out American Gangster, like everything that he was putting out was mediocre.
I feel you on that. I agree. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. Yeah,
444 was fine. That was good. But the difference between him putting out an album and Nas putting out an album is that Nas has put out classic after classic after classic hip hop album.
That's who made the album with Premier. That's who made the album with Premier.
Yeah, it was Nas and Premier that put out.
I think. I wonder like if Jay-Z like taps Nas on the shoulder and is like, yo, I need some of that, like whatever you tapped into that makes you still relevant. I need some of that. Like
it was the fact that Nas never sold out. Like Jay-Z sold out. Jay-Z sold out for the numbers and the popularity. So when I look at the resurgence of pure boom bap type hip hop, I can't look at Jay-Z. I look at Nas. I look at the fact that Clips put out an album, that was straight fire from start to finish. Like artists like that, you got to give recognition and props to. But before we go, because instead of just letting Apollo go, we're all going to kind of call it a night. Let's talk about this next game. We go against the Nets. What are your guys' thoughts in a sentence or two? Do you think we get the W? Do you think we, are lackluster and we lose? What do you guys think? I'll go with you first, Apollo, because your song was fire.
I appreciate that. Still to everybody for the love, by the way. But I believe we got a dub. We got another dub, of course. They're probably gonna want some payback from the last time we played them. I think that was actually when I was in the Garden. I think we beat them by like 40, 49 points or something like that. But they're not a team that should hold a candle to us at all. That should be a dub. And I think we're already. I think Josh is missing that game already.
Yep,
that's the kind of game you rest.
Josh
guys.
is not gonna play.
Yeah, Josh is not playing. So that's the kind of game you rest guys, and you go get that dub with your second unit mostly.
All right, what are your thoughts, Al?
I'm these games, guys. Like it's not about. Well, first of all, get the W, but it's not about that, right? It's about all the other things. Like you guys gotta like start watching the game within the game, right?
Mhm,
Start
mhm.
looking at what lineups Mike Brown is using. Start looking at like how we start the first quarters. Like, is Mikal getting benched? Like, who's getting hot? Who's ice cold? Like, these are the things that we got to start micro analyzing the way these games are going, because it should be a W. And whether it's a 40-point W or a 4-point W, I personally I don't really care that much. I care about like how it all unfolds, right? So like if, for example, if we win the first quarter by 20 points and then we only win the game by 4 points, that's a certain conversation. If we lose the first quarter by 4 points and win the game by 20 points, that's a different conversation. But if you're just box score watching, you're having different conversations than I'm having. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to watch the game, understand how the games are unfolding, try to think about what the heck Mike Brown is trying to do and accomplish with these guys as we're going into the playoffs. This is these games are not difficult games, but this is a critical stretch in the season.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're gleaning out of these games is important.
Mhm.
So watch the games, guys. Pay attention and start to pay attention at a deeper level than you were before, because we're getting playoff ready, guys. And so let's do that. That's where I'm at.
All right. I'll let you go first, Joe. What do you think?
Well, yeah, man, I agree with them. You know, these games are getting important. You know, we're getting to that time of the season. It's the stretch, and I just want to update you guys. The Spurs just beat the Suns in the last second of the game, 101-100. The Spurs were losing to the Suns the entire fourth quarter, and they came back, and the Spurs took the game against the Suns. And the Pelicans beat the Clippers by 6. So there's some games going on right now.
We need East Coast updates, Joe. East Coast updates.
Well, the only East Coast right now we got is Cavs and Bulls, and the Cavs are up 4 points to the Bulls, so they got 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
What was the final on the Pistons game?
The Pistons beat the Wizards 117-95.
Okay, so they
and that's without Cade. Jalen Duren dropped 24 points. Duren's been their top scorer as of late.
So this is one thing I'm gonna say. So many people say that there is no number 2 in the Pistons, and that like who's gonna score outside of Cade. You need to wake up and update that take. Jalen Duren can put up 18 to 28 on any given night. Like this,
he's rebounding too. You got to remember he's a rebounder as well.
Yeah. So
the Hornets beat the Magic today, 130-111, and there was another update. Oh, the Heat lost to or about to lose to the Lakers. They're 130-124. That matters because they are one of the teams that could play us. Two of the teams that could play us.
I'm telling people, do not sleep on the Hornets.
Holy crap! Luka Doncic has 59 points. Luka Doncic has 59 points.
The Hornets are going to freaking surprise everybody in the playoffs.
Dude,
this is a different team. This team is crazy. Like
I want them to play Detroit. I want them to play Detroit.
So do I.
Remember they got into that big brawl?
Yep. They'll either surprisingly win as the underdogs, or they'll exhaust the hell out of Detroit before we play them, which is
I think they want Detroit. They want Detroit because of that little beef.
Yeah.
They definitely want Detroit.
Yeah.
And I want Brandon Miller. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I might have to say it every week.
You can
things to get Brandon Miller on his name.
You can pack up Mikal Bridges with the quickness to get Brandon Miller. Like
Brandon Miller is so good, bro. Oh,
I will head to New York myself, and I will Uber drive Mikal Bridges to the airport. Like I will drive him to Charlotte to pick up Brandon Miller.
I'm in Charlotte. I'll go pick up Brandon Miller and take him to New York.
Exactly. Yes. So the Knicks nightcap got you covered, Leon Rose. You know, let's make that trade. All right. So shout out to everybody that was in the chat tonight. Shout out to ASW Distillery for, partnering with us and being part of this amazing episode and sending these amazing bottles. I posted the link in the chat for everybody to be able to check them out. Shout out to Joe for joining us for most of the
thanks
episode.
for having me, man. I appreciate it. Salute to the chat.
amazing contribution
Facts.
to
Salute to the
tonight's
panel.
episode. We appreciate you. You are welcome.
Thank you, Joe.
Seriously, anytime you want to come.
Word.
through,
Shout
bro.
out to
Hey, Phil,
Joe.
I'll
Word.
take you up on that, man. I'm always available. So, you
Yeah.
know, whenever you're having the
Pull
show.
up, bro. Pull up.
Anytime,
Sure.
pull up. If you want, grab a camera, come on up. You're welcome anytime.
I might
shout
even
out
bring
to-
my own whiskeys with me. See, do the little
Hey,
taste.
Grab a Tulador more, whatever. What is it
Hey.
called? Tulador.
Tell 'em
Hey,
what to do.
Joe.
Yeah, let's
Tell him
go.
what
Joe.
do.
Joe, I'm gonna tell you, where you at, Joe?
Atlantic City.
All right. So
AC.
honestly, like if there is an episode you want to come and like hang with us, I'll try to make sure that we get you the samples before the episode so you can
Right.
actually
Hey,
join
man,
with
like I
us.
said, I'm always available. So, you know, I don't know when you're going on or whatever.
Yeah,
so, but I appreciate
every
that, man.
Thursday.
Thank you so much
Every
for,
Thursday.
having them. And,
You're welcome, bro.
hospitality and
Do me a
everything, man.
favor. Drop me a message on Twitter or on Instagram, and we'll actually work it out to get you some of those samples for an upcoming
Facts.
episode.
All right, man.
So I personally, if
That's dope.
after 13 games of us beating the Nets, we lose, I don't freaking know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'll lose my mind. Like, seriously, like if we lose to a Claxton Porter team while we're fully healthy, I'll lose my mind.
Well, what's our
at
streak right now? How many games have we beaten them in a row? Isn't it like 12 or 13?
13. 13.
Yeah.
Isn't it good sometimes to get that slap in the face before you go into the playoffs? I don't know. That kind of stuff.
Here's
I
the
get
thing.
mad, but I don't get too worked up about it.
So this is what I see. When I see games like this, where we are the guaranteed winner, this is when I explore new things. This is when I try out different lineups. This is when I say, hey, JB, you don't have to play 35 minutes. We're going to play so-and-so more minutes. Like, this is the kind of game that you explore because we're used to spanking them anyway.
Well, that exploration might lead to a loss.
And that's fine.
So you got to live with that.
Fine.
But you didn't say that.
If we explore, I'm fine
you
with
said
the
you
loss.
would be mad. Oh, okay. All right.
If we explore. But if we
explore.
play all of our starters the same way we do every night and we
And then
lose,
yeah.
then that's pathetic.
Yeah, okay.
That's similar
with you.
to
I'm
us
with you on that.
barely beating the Warriors. It's
I'd
not
like to
okay.
see some Dottie minutes for this game,
Exactly.
to be honest.
So
That'd
this
be
is
nice.
the game that I want to see Dottie. I want to see more Clarkson. I want
Diawara.
to see Diawara. I want to see
Sohan.
Shamit. I want to see Sohan. I want to see those guys figure out what their actual role in the playoffs will be.
I agree.
So that's what I want to see.
Shout out
for
Huck
this
Porty.
coming game. Yep. Even put Huck Porty in there because here's the thing: is Mitch is playing more minutes, but at the end of the day, we don't know how many minutes he's going to play in the playoffs. And if we can at least bolster up Huck Porty, we're like he's good for 8 minutes. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's get him to that point. Let's guarantee that 8 minutes of Huck Porty is not going to be a fall off. So these are the kind of games that we need to utilize coming into the playoffs. So shout out to everybody. What happened?
I said Huck Porty, I was a real big fan, but his IQ starts to scare me sometimes. And
he fell off.
He's a
He
rookie,
fell
though.
off. Like
Well, yeah,
last
not a
year
rookie,
to
but-
this year is just like what happened in my
it's kind of
opinion.
weird. Yeah,
It's definitely.
I hopefully he can turn it around though. Hopefully he can get some.
I hope so. Like honestly, if we can get 8 good minutes out of him in a game for the playoffs, that's all we really need, so that Mitch and Cat can be at their highest potential for the rest of the game. But thank you all so much. Those that are in the chat, those that have rocked with us, those who are chatting with us. We appreciate you guys. We will be back next Wednesday because we have a game Thursday. So we'll be back next Wednesday. And I'm excited because the brand that we are rocking with is River Roots, and they are a very exclusive, limited, single barrel type of brand. And it's going to be 4 amazing whiskey pours as well. And so I'm looking forward to it. So thank you all for being part of what we're doing. Shout out to my guy Apollo. Shout out to my guy Al. Shout out to my guy Joe for joining us. We truly appreciate you guys. God bless. And if you did drink and you watched the show, please drink responsibly. Do not get behind the wheel. Do not be foolish. Do not be stupid. We do not promote like excess. We promote enjoying the craft for what it is. So thank you guys for locking in with us. And until next week, join us. If we're not here, the KOT family is here. Every single episode that is after the show, they do post-game shows every single night. So Lee Escobedo, we got Jay Ellis, we got Ryan, we got Ebony, we got B, we got Fritz. Join them all. They are seriously killing it, and they give us the show that they already created to be able to lock in with our platform. Also, Al right there, he's got a show called Knicks Life Crisis.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's worth following. It's worth supporting. 40-year-old plus guys just talking about life in the New York Knicks. Support them as well. Support my guy Apollo with Guard Up Knicks when he's able to do it, and all the amazing crew that he's got there. And so thank you guys. We appreciate you. And until next time, God bless and deuces.
Salute.
Adios.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors.